$11.95? You can't afford $11.95? What's your problem?
Kool-Aid girl, my only love. Kool-Aid girl, my only love. Juice on your lip and it's dripping on your hips. Put my girl in jail for so long. She did nothing wrong. I want you free and I'm begging to the skies above. Kool-Aid girl, my only, yeah, Kool-Aid girl, my only love. If I was that guy from the farming website, I'll treat you right, clap those cheeks all night. I would change your life, no more OnlyFans. I will be your only man. Free Kool-Aid for life, only for $11.95. No more living in a van. We're going on vacation in Japan, and you can use my hot tub. Kool-Aid girl, my only, Kool-Aid girl, my only love. Juice on your lip and it's dripping on your hips. Put my girl in jail for so long. She did nothing wrong. I want you free and I'm begging to the skies above. Kool-Aid girl, my only, Kool-Aid girl, my only. Juice on your lip and it's dripping on your hips. Put my girl in jail for so long. She did nothing wrong. I want you free and I'm begging to the skies above. Kool-Aid girl, my only, Kool-Aid girl, my only. Kool-Aid girl, my only love. Kool-Aid girl, my only love.
I'm going to persevere. I'm going to punch through the boundaries. I'm going to become, that person that they say I can't be. And I'm going to be successful no matter what. But even though I have done that, there's still this back here. This song. In the back of my neck, the back of my head, the back of my mind. Trying to hit this beat on time. Keep my eyes wide open, looking on the horizon. I'm putting my time in, digging up this mine, searching for a cherry diamond, looking for these nuggets of truth. I need to find them, but until then, I'll carry on grinding. 1 year older, alcoholic former. I can feel the dark side getting colder. I made a deal with the devil on my shoulder. All I can do is to keep the demons in the corner. Give a pig a fish, feed him for a day, but don't take away his bottle of Tanqueray. 1 more drop, and we'll be okay. Or maybe I should save it for a rainy day. Take another trip down to Total Wine. Pour another drink in my cup. Drink it all down to the bottom line. All this money, it'll never be enough. Now I think I'm feeling fine, so I polish this rhyme like a diamond in the rough. Try to free my mind, put my nose to the grind, put my pen to the paper when things get tough. Don't believe in the lies of he, cause I'm a super blind man, but I still see the blackest eyes like a black-eyed pea. Words crystallize as I'm flowing on the beat. Look into the water, got my reflection. 5'12" with a mayonnaise complexion. Drink some whale tail for my depression. Captain Ahab on a ship with no direction. I am a man sitting on an island alone, with 2 gin bottles and a microphone. Writing my message on a scroll and throw it into the Dead Sea like a skipping stone. Spinning in this vortex unknown. Riding on a whale until I'm home. It's not that deep, but don't look below, cause before you know it, you'll get caught in the undertow. Take another trip down to Total Wine. Pour another drink in my cup. Drink it all down to the bottom line. All this money, it'll never be enough. Now I think I'm feeling fine, so I polish this rhyme like a diamond in the rough. Try to free my mind, put my nose to the grind, put my pen to the paper when things get tough.
This year I spent an insane amount of money. I bought brand new mouse and keyboard, new lap desk, really good quality, name brand, wrist rests. Have you seen my visual feast of RGBs for my 2 PCs? And it all syncs perfectly, which is really neat.
I'm living King Dream, dual streaming. I'm the king of crushing goals and belt controls. While they see me go, with my success don't need all that. I'm having upsurgence.
Blackout curtains, Elgato foam. I have 4 boom arms and a brand new microphone. Primo webcam, the Elgato Stream Deck. As you can see, RGBs powered by SkyTech. I got a new crown, a crown that fits, and Sticker's final chip. Oh, I dropped it. Oh, lickety split. Samsung SSD that was just donated to me. NVMe 2 instead of NVMe 3, whatever that means.
I'm living King Dream, dual streaming. I'm the king of crushing goals and belt controls. While they see me go, with my success don't need all that. I'm having upsurgence.
Again, guys, I'm living in this reality that people like me now and want to support my stuff. It's hard for me to accept it and think that it's real.
To the Shadow Wizard Money Gang, which isn't you, that's a different team, but nonetheless, thank you for spending your Saturday morning with me, Atlas. I really do appreciate it. I hope you're all living your Keem dream, if you will. Obviously, everybody wants to be living the Keem dream. It's just, it is the definition of being successful, and that's what we do over here on DSP Space Gaming Enthusiasts, is we enjoy watching the king be successful. Before we talk about how successful our king has been, because we had a great week. We played so many games like Resident Evil 9, and we played Street Fighter. I think we had a great marathon. But before we get into any of that, I'm gonna do the Atlas segment, because last week I tried to skate past it, and then people were hounding me. They were begging, saying, "Atlas, when are you gonna do the Atlas style segment?" So this week I cleaned my car, because if you guys remember, I bought that truck not that long ago, and it is finally roadworthy. The brake hoses are no longer twisted. The radiator is no longer leaking. We are on the road. So I have to clean my car out, or I did clean my car out, and I'm reorganizing the garage so that I can actually store it in there. Never had to do that before. I had the space in the drive, but no longer. I also removed the dead plants from the Atlas garden, which we're expanding this year. We're going to double the size, and I might even grow cherry tomatoes. That's the plan. We'll see how that goes. Cucumbers even had that idea. But anyway, so that is being prepped and prepared as spring is approaching. And then I got to the end game of PoE 2 as well. It took way longer than I expected it to. But I'm finally in the Atlas segment, is what they actually call it at the end. When you use the Atlas, that's endgame content. And I finally got there, and I'm waiting for my team to catch up. Unfortunately, they all have full-time jobs, so they're way behind, and I'm just going to be stuck waiting. So that's the Atlas segment. Obviously, I was very busy. Is Atlas not a Slay the Spire inclined bookkeeper? No, I don't play deck builders. Not my speed. They don't capture my attention the way that they should, which is unfortunate, because there's so many Steam games that look fucking sick.
God? What a grand and intoxicating innocence.
But the games look fucking sick, and then I click on them, they're deck builders. If I had $1 for every time I wanted to play a game and I clicked on it, it's about fucking playing cards, I would never have to work again. But that's not the reality I live in. So, like I said, it's DSP time now. Atlas segment is over. We had a great time playing Resident Evil 9, of course. I watched almost none of the gameplay, so we'll watch a little bit of it here, but I watched almost none of it because I couldn't care less. But despite all of that, despite DSP's thinly veiled attempt to cash in on the hype of Resident Evil 9, he still managed to give us exactly what we want in the form of just nonsense drivel on his level 1 pre-stream that he does not even on a regular basis anymore, unfortunately. He was too busy playing Resident Evil 9, but he still managed to bitch about merchandising and flexing on LTG and talking about how gracefully DSP himself is aging, because obviously that's what everybody knows him for. So we'll watch all of that before we get into the RE9 Cope and Seeth. And thank you, Infamous Chaos, for the 9 months, saying big ups, Atlas. Big ups to you. I really appreciate you and all your time.
So someone's asking me, do I have a merch shop? No.
Wait. I just looked at my screen and realized I actually have to explain what's going on here instead. So this was sent to me before we talk about our stupid merchandise. This was sent to me by one Inked Blessing yesterday, day prior. Apparently, we're openly disrespecting the guy on Twitter again, and we're creating games with easy modes that specifically you access through calling out DSP. They said, if you're worried about the difficulty of Saint Slayer, I have no idea what this game is, we have a built-in secret code in the game for you, named in honor of the King of Hate himself, They Call Me DSP. Enter the password DSP to start an easy mode with 99 lives. And this is what he wants from every game, really. Like, this might... I don't think it'll get under his skin because he probably won't see it anyway, but this is exactly what he's asking for in every single game. He needs the yellow paint. He needs every game to be easier, despite all of his claims to the contrary. So I wanted to get that and show you that before we talk about Resident Evil as well.
So someone's asking me, do I have a merch shop? No. And I'm not planning on bringing one back. Here's the truth, okay? In all the years that I've been a creator, since day one, 18 years ago, I never expected that this would ever be my job. I never took myself ultra seriously, meaning I never thought that, like, people would like the content that I put out enough that they would want to buy merchandise of it and stuff. Like, never fathomed this in my head one moment, okay?
So he didn't think that people would like his content enough to purchase merchandise, something that I want to say was fairly common at the time. People shilling stuff was fairly common. Anyway, didn't think that people would want merchandise, but he thought people would like his content enough to never bitch or moan or complain about him and always say that he was the best content creator ever. To never have a criticism about him, but they wouldn't purchase merchandise. That was actually his expectations for his fans.
And the fact that it all came to be is ridiculous to me, but at the same time, hey, it's my reality and I live with it every day. You know, it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. I've had merchandise 4 times in my career. The first time I had merchandise was very early on. I actually went to a website called cafepress.com and I made an initial line of product. This is how the original Dark Side Phil shirt, remember they used to have the Dark Side Phil with a crown, and it's the shirt that you'll see me wearing in the Project 7 series from 2012. That's where
Project 7 mentioned Let's Go.
Original line of product launched. And it was very silly. Of course, I didn't take it seriously. Dude, I had everything possible. I had Dark Side Phil underwear. I'm not kidding. I sold Dark Side Phil tidy whities on that website.
He absolutely did. And we saw it on the early episodes of Act the King. It was like, I want to say in the first handful or so that I did with ALT. But if you're going to ask for a link, I don't have it. You're going to have to go find it. I'm not that well organized.
Did I make a lot of money doing it? Absolutely not. It was more of a novelty or a joke. People who like my super fans back then who wanted merch, that was the way to get it, but I didn't really care and I didn't really make any money doing it.
Okay, so then it wasn't a novelty or a joke. Like the point of doing it was for those super fans that wanted the merchandise. Like it's just talking out of both sides of the mouth.
Okay. Then there was a second line that I launched during the time when I was frequently playing fighting games with my friends. At that point, we were training in Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, in order to go to a tournament in Japan. And so we had a group, we called it Don't Blow This. And we would go over to my friend Howard's house and we would stream from his actual...
My friend Howard? Now we're his friend again. We're always kind of wishy-washy on Howard. I'm always excited when he gets brought up because I want to see how DSP is willing to describe him in the current moment, whenever it is. Sometimes we're acquaintances, sometimes we're not friends, sometimes we are friends. And then hearing the expectations that he had for Howard in any given moment is also very interesting.
Arcade cabinet, and we had a merch line. Like there was, you know,
he was our friend
John
when we had
Rambo
a merch
had a
line.
shirt that said Rambo, and it was like Dalzim, his favorite character.
But he wasn't my friend when we were playing video games. He was an
Howard had a
acquaintance
shirt
or
with
whatever.
Balrog, his favorite character. I had a shirt. I don't even remember who was on my shirt. I actually forgot. I think it might have been Vega, but maybe not. Maybe it was DJ. I don't even remember. Okay. So that was the second merchandise line that we had at one point. Okay. Then when Project 7 actually launched, which was supposed to be a web comedy series about games and stuff, it was just stupid mess around, very, very low grade, not high quality. It was just meant to be dumb and funny. We launched a line.
Well, they successful in one aspect. You can chalk this up to a rare DSPW. He accomplished half of the goal. It was dumb. Congratulations, DSP. Big win on your behalf. But I honestly think it's incredibly disrespectful to describe that as just being dumb and funny and it wasn't supposed to be good or whatever. Because as far as I know, listening to everybody talk about and hear about what happened with Project 7, it sounds like a lot of people were putting in quite a bit of work and it wasn't as easy as DSP is making it sound here. Hasn't he gone on the record talking about how difficult it was to do all of that filming out in the sun all day or whatever the fuck? Oh, but it was just fun mess around. It wasn't supposed to be good. Okay, that's fine. I mean, that's fine.
That show that were meant to be sold at conventions. Okay,
people were like actually dropping out of the project because they weren't being paid for the amount of effort that they were being put in. That's how much effort they felt like they were putting into this project. And then to say that it was never supposed to be good.
Never actually sold them really fully online. It was more convention stuff. Then years later, I would want to say probably around 2015, 2016. I'm not sure exactly. I was contacted by then Teespring. They said, hey, we see that, you have a popular YouTube channel. You have a following. Would you like to sell merch? And I said, well, I haven't done anything since Cafe Press. I mean, that was so many years ago. I'm no. And they said, well, listen, here's the thing. We're going to do all the work for you, okay? We're going to design stuff. We're going to put up merch. We're going to design your store. We'll do it all for you. All you got to do is tell us, yes, you agree. Give us your information so you can pay you. And then every once in a while, you can just upload more designs and we'll have our design team make the shirts and stuff for you. I said, okay, fine, if there's no work involved. And that's
a classic DSP mantra right there. That's all he needed. Oh, there's no work involved? This would basically be free money if it did anything? Oh, well, of course. I don't give a shit about the actual product, how the quality of the product. I don't care if it looks good, if this is the price range on it. I don't really give a shit. Just as long as I don't have to do any work, sure, of course.
Exactly.
Why
what
not?
Happened.
Thank you, Medusa Jr. for the 2, saying, show me where he says I want to interview DSP. I'm not quite sure what you're getting at. Tag me and explaining. Over my head. I don't know what's going on.
Created the page. They
Thank you for the 2. I appreciate it nonetheless.
Merch. And
I want to know how we got onto this fucking topic of conversation, in all honesty. I wish there was some context on this clip for the opening, but apparently not.
Went up, and that's where this shirt came from. So this was from the Teespring era of merch that I had. Now, I will admit, initially when I launched the Teespring merch, I made a little bit of money. Only a little bit. I'd say probably not even lying. I think in the entire time I've ever sold merchandise, I've never made $1,000 total.
That's fucking insane. By the way, I don't know why he would say this openly. Maybe he doesn't understand how this kind of puts into perspective because the amount of time that he spent shilling Teespring during like the Panda Lee days when we were actually doing pre-streams and we were playing, I want to say games like Neo at the time, whatever that time period was there, we shilled the fuck out of Teespring. It was always, I felt like it was always on the screen. He always had that dumbass slide running. And then to admit that over the entire time he only ever made about $1,000 even going as far back as like the very beginning of it is insane. He spent so much time shilling that shit for absolutely practically no gain. I can't say absolutely because $1,000 is $1,000, but god damn, there was so much shilling for it to gain almost nothing.
Throughout all the years, I don't think I've even made $1,000, but I think I made a few $100s that time, like $300 to $500 during the initial Teespring launch. This shirt was actually the best seller. This design right here made the most money for me. It was either this color scheme or all red on black. Okay. So at that point, I had a few different t-shirts, hoodies, and mugs and stuff like that I was selling. And that lasted a while. So here's what happened. Initial interest, everyone wants merch. So people rush to go buy it. And then immediately the interest falls off. So people say,
just like everything with DSP. That's quite literally how everything he does works, because he's just not an interesting character. The initial fascination drops off instantly because his initial reaction is the only reaction he's going to have. There will be no progression of thoughts. There will be no change in opinion. He won't learn anything about anything. He's not going to have some sort of nuanced take by the end. It is initially what he feels, and then he's hard stuck there. And he's going to defend it to the day he dies, even if he was wrong, because DSP is never wrong.
well, why don't you get new designs? So I did. Fans would make designs. I would upload them. I would make my own designs and upload them. Nothing ever really sold. Eventually, people complained, oh, you just need new designs. I said, all right, I'll pay a designer. And behind the scenes, I paid a designer a couple $100s to design a bunch of designs. I put them on. Not a single sale. Zero. Okay?
Yeah, it's almost like people weren't actually interested in the guy. They didn't want people to know that they fucked with him heavy in real life.
So eventually, after a while...
It also takes... I'm not going to sit here and pretend that every content creator can't fucking sell merch. I mean, people push merch all the time. But I think that you have to be quite a content creator to actually move merchandise that way and make a profit on it regularly. I don't think that random video game streamers are just selling t-shirts continuously. I don't know that that was ever actually the market. Granted, I was a child at the time that this was taking place, so I wouldn't really know. But there's tons of YouTubers you will and have never seen merch for.
I just said, I just don't care anymore, right? I just don't care about this.
Mauler sells out of plushies every time.
The Teespring site fall into disrepair. Okay.
Well, does Mauler do plushies all of the time? I guess is my next question then. Because like I know other content creators that also do runs of plushies and those do sell out, but they're not doing them all of the time like the way that DSP or other people back in the day were pushing Teespring. All of the time, every day, constantly, year round.
For the record, I did eventually close the Cafe Press site because apparently someone was trying to access it and kept trying to hit it with, you know how you do the password reset link? They kept doing that and it kept getting frozen. And I was like, I'm not selling anything on Cafe Press. I'll just close the shop. And I eventually did. This Teespring shop was taken away from me against my will. Not to say that I was using it because I wasn't, okay? But basically what happened was in 2019, was it 2019? No, it was 2021, right? So...
Notice how he said that the account was taken away from him, though, as he goes into this story. They took the account away from him, not that he, like, earned the account being removed from his possession, not that his actions ultimately led to the taking of the account. He just flat out says they took the account. That's how he opens the story. There's no accountability on his end, no responsibility for him. Just they took the account as if they did it out of nowhere and it was completely unprecedented.
My detractor/haters literally made a portfolio.
A drink if this is a story he's told before.
That DSP has said
always
over the
drinking.
Years. Most of it was actually from the early days of when I was a creator. So it was like racist jokes, sexist jokes, sexual comments, things like that I had said in like 2010. It was 2021. But they put it all together and they started going around sending this portfolio to all these different businesses which I had association with. So, for example, they send it to Twitch.
I'm not going to sit here and defend the idea of taking somebody's words from a decade ago and using it to harm them in real life or whatever, but The way that DSP says it, he always says it as though he's entitled to people always taking his side and always having that understanding when dealing with him specifically, even when it's actively affecting his business. Every sponsorship that this happened to, he has the exact same take. Oh, they're taking things out of context from a decade ago. And there's, like I said, never any accountability. You have to come with the understanding that because it was a decade ago, it's completely like forgiven, that he can't be held accountable for it anymore. He's a completely changed person. You're not allowed to have any animosity.
They sent it to YouTube. They sent it to Teespring. They sent it to the streaming services that I was using for pop-ups on my streams. They sent it to the processing service through which I was taking tips. Okay? It was 2021. We were within 1 year of COVID and the Black Lives Matter movement, and all of these corporations were going woke.
It's BLM's fault. DSP got deplatformed from fucking Twitch or Teespring or whatever.
Well, we just don't want to do business with Darkside Phil anymore for all this stuff that he did in 2010, 11 years prior. Okay? Keep in mind, some of the businesses like Teespring recruited me. They reached out to me in like 2017. They made my merch page. They were maintaining it for me, and they were well aware of who I was and what I had done in the past, but it was only with this culture shift in 2020 and 2021 that they decided we don't want to associate. So they made the decision to associate, then years later, internally changed their minds, and they closed my page against my will. I didn't.
Which sucks for him. I mean, that's a shitty spot to be left in. But, I mean, that happens, though. Companies, businesses, people are allowed to change their mind once they have to deal with the repercussions of your actions elsewhere. It's just the way that it is. Imagine, okay, if you will, not a sandwich shop. We're not doing a sandwich shop. But a significant other, somebody that you're dating or you're going to marry or whatever, they approach you and then they know all of the things you did, but then ultimately over time there are more and more repercussions for all of the things that you did in your past, and then they inevitably say, I don't really want to deal with this anymore. I'm not interested in this. That's what DSP's doing here. Well, how dare she say that? How dare they change their mind? They kind of half-heartedly knew because I told them and probably lied about how bad everything was. And then it came to fruition. Like, what do we? That's crazy. That's just a crazy expectation for anybody to have for anybody, let alone a business that is actively trying to make money and does not really care about you.
I had no idea until someone told me. They said, are you aware your Teespring page is like a dead link? And I looked, I'm like, oh no, I had no idea. You know, I'm not using it. We didn't have any new merch on there for like a year. And then I contacted them and I found this out. And I'm like, you guys are so unprofessional and ridiculous. I would never work with you again.
You guys are unprofessional for kicking me out for saying the bad words. Sure, man. That's what unprofessionalism is. I agree.
So that was a long time ago, right? And then during the Kino Casino arc, okay, which was fall 2024.
Yeah, how dare she leave me because she found out I'm a violent felon? Exactly.
There was once again a resurgence of interest in me, and people were like, hey, you know, maybe you should sell merch again. And I was, honestly, I wasn't really for it because I was like, I don't have stuff to sell. I'm not a graphic designer. You know what I mean? I don't really have much. I have like this logo here. That was a logo that someone had made for me years prior.
I also hate that he thinks that to throw together any sort of merch, you have to be some sort of graphic designer. That you have to have some sort of art degree and you've had to have taken courses in the industry that is graphic design in order to throw something together for merchandise or for the fucking animations or the emotes or whatever that he was coping for so long, saying, well, I don't know how to do any of that. I don't have the software. I'm not like a graphic designer. I can't just do that. I have to have people do it for me. It's so fucking stupid, dude. It's just a guy that wants to be lazy and is looking for any excuse to not do it. And thank you, Tuna Sandwich, for the 5, saying it seems like a lot of people choose not to associate with Phil. Yeah, it's a running pattern around here, around everywhere. It's almost like he's got this aura to him that people can just feel. Even if it's not at first, it is inevitable. They can just feel the toxicity. And thank you, the Do, for the 2, saying where the level 1 coffee mug he used to have. Didn't he get rid of that? because he like scratched the shit out of it with some steel wool or something crazy. So he just got the Yoshi egg, and he's got like some other mugs. I believe that's the lore. Correct me if I'm wrong.
And I said, oh, if
Doll Wild's pointing out the noodle arms. I think we have that. No, we don't have that segment. I don't think we do. If we do, I'll be surprised.
I redesign.
But obviously you're an idiot and it's the camera angle, and he's super buff, you guys. I swear to God, he was flexing.
My page to have the new logo and everything, maybe that could be the merch or whatever that I sell. And so, once again, it wasn't me seeking it out. Someone contacted me when I was still doing content with Kino Casino, and they said, hey, I saw you on the casino. I like what you're doing with those guys. Heard you talk about merch on one of your streams. I know a company that will work with you. They don't care about.
Also, I like the work you're doing with those guys is crazy, considering he was just a fucking bump on a log basically the whole time he worked with Kino. Completely uninteresting, could not actually have any chemistry with them, no back and forths. Every time he opened his mouth, it seemed like everybody had stopped listening. But somebody opened with, I like what you're doing over there.
People harassing people on the internet whatsoever. They're totally cool. They're going to work with you no matter what. And I said, all right. And I started talks with that company. And basically the way that worked is, again, they set up the page. They created the merch, not me. All I had to do was send them the designs, and they would do all the work, and they would maintain the storefront and all of that. They would maintain the customer service. They would be mailing all the merch. I would just get a cut of the profits. Okay.
Imagine that, another situation where DSP does absolutely none of the work. But this is once again him explaining shit in a way that it is completely unnecessary. They were going to be shipping all of the shirts. Well, I would fucking hope so, dude. They're making them. Why would they make the shirts and then send them to you so that you could send them out? I mean, I guess that could be, you know, something that you throw together. But if they're reaching out to you and this is their storefront, of course they would be shipping out the fucking shirts. That kind of went without saying when you talked about it being their storefront.
So again, immediately
we're just making this plan sound more complicated than it really is. Like when he describes other tasks that he does and makes them like 10 parts long when it's as simple as getting up and putting something away.
When that launched in 2024, that first month that it launched, I probably made a few $100s on merch sales, which was great. And then after that, it just completely petered off and no one cared again. So occasionally I would actually send that company a few designs, say, hey, here's some new art or whatever. Sometimes they would update the page. Sometimes they wouldn't even do it. And eventually when I contacted them and I was like, well, what gives? They were like, you're getting no sales. Like no one even goes to the page. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I'm not a merch guy. I don't push merch on my streams. I don't have desire to push merch on my streams. I don't want to sell a product. I want to stream and just hang out with people. So every once in a while, there's a slide for it or I'll bring it up. But I know we're probably never going to get significant sales unless there's a reason, right?
Insane work that the company was like, bro, you don't sell shit. Why would we bother doing our jobs? This is actually a waste of time. And he goes, yeah, you know what? You guys are right. I am a waste of time. Thank you for informing me. An insane reality to live in. Holy shit, buddy.
And so basically they were like, well.
Also, the way that he just drops it, it's clear that he never cared about the merch in the first place and was doing it simply because there was a potential that he could make a little bit of money off of it. It's just a complete lack of care. And it shows through absolutely in the designs and the way that he shielded the product. There was just no care.
It's not cost effective for us to maintain this page and keep paying for it every month when you're not going to use it. And I was like, you're right. And that was it. So the store got closed and that was the end of that. So at this point, I really don't care about merch. It's never been a big deal. Like, I feel like the people who sell merch, it's this simple. They're in it for the profits. They're not in it for the content or for loving what they do. They're in it because it's a business to them and all they want to do is print money. If you're just...
That's why he had a Teespring slide on his fucking pre-stream for years at a time and would constantly put it in the content verbally. But everybody else is selling merch successfully is just there for the money. The people that sell merch, I guess, unsuccessfully, those are the real content creators. Those are the people that actually, I guess, deserve your time, energy, and views. I'm not sure.
In here pushing merch every day. Oh, the designs, the quality, the design. Dude, you're a fucking streamer. You're supposed to be entertaining your audience You're supposed to be having a good time, and then if they like you, they'll reciprocate. Why are you selling merch like a fucking guy on QVC barking that your shirt is so good? No one gives a fuck about your shirt. You're a loser, right? That's my mentality. And that's the thing. Like, I just don't want to sit here selling content or selling merch all day.
Yep, and there's the slip up. I don't want to sell content, guys. I mean merch. I don't want to sell merch because selling content is what he does. In many a game, there is absolutely first and foremost, selling content is absolutely what he does because he will quit playing a game if he doesn't make enough money. That is his business model. But even further past that, naming of the fucking Pokemon or deciding who's in the party or what characters we're going to use based off of the amount of money that you're fucking donating is absolutely also selling content. That is what DSP wants to do.
I just hate
pushing an actual product is too difficult for DSP. He can only move fake shit somehow.
That mentality. And if anyone ever does, I hate it when you're watching a streamer or you're watching a creator and they're like, oh, now it's time for the paid product placement. Here's the product that I'm sponsored me today. Here's my referral link. Oh, here's my t-shirt line. And by the way, they're extremely fucking expensive for no fucking reason because I think that I'm more important than anyone else. So buy my fucking insanely expensive t-shirt.
Well, sometimes they have good designs. Like I'm not a YouTube t-shirt merch enjoyer by any means, but I've definitely seen some sick fucking designs on YouTuber merch. And if it wasn't $1 million, I definitely I could see me wearing something like that.
No one cares. Those are losers. Those are fucking life losers who are just there to shill to you. They're not there to make content for you. They don't care about the content they put out. They're rushing to get to the money part. See?
Yeah, $100 animations are the real value. Well, also DSP doesn't he'll shill actually nothing at you. Like you could call it the animations, I guess, or the $100 shout out, but you get nothing for giving DSP a ridiculous amount of money. At least those other people, if you use their referral link or you buy their stupid fucking merch, you get something out of that. If you value those services that you're using with the referral link or the shirt or hoodie you're wearing or the plushie you fucking bought, you got more out of it and supported the creator as opposed to DSP, who gives you actually fuck all nothing, the same content he was going to make anyway, and a dumbass animation that is probably very obnoxious and comes with an audio sound effect that is equally, if not more, obnoxious. What a great deal.
So I don't care about that stuff. I don't think I ever will.
Have I ever seen a more bitter and jealous streamer? No, I don't think so.
You reciprocate and then we're good.
DSP excels.
So that's
He's
why
the best.
You don't see me with the product placements. You don't see me selling the merch and chilling it. The few times I've tried it, it never worked. It was always just frustrating because people would like it for a month and then, what am I supposed to do? I'm not a graphic designer. I'm not going to sit here designing shirts for you constantly. That's not my job. I'm not going to pay someone to do that.
It's not my job.
The content I want to put out there on the internet. I want to put out gaming content. I want to put out positive content, podcasting, vlogging, hanging out with you. That's what I aspire to do, not sell fucking shirts, right?
I don't want to actually give you a product. I just want to keep doing the same bullshit, obviously. Come on.
Buckwell says, I would like a shirt that says I got banned by DSP, but Buckwell, that would make you a poser because you're not. You're in the chat right now. You're not banned. So why the hell would you want a shirt that says that? What's your problem?
He said, I want a shirt that says I got banned by DSP, not I am banned by DSP. It's all about what tense you're using, but I understand a goblin like DSP doesn't know the English language work. That's fine. I just calling somebody out because you can't read is he really is one of a kind.
Anyway, burnt peanut.
Also, I think that low. Never mind. I'll just drop
Burnell,
it. We'll move
now
on
that's
positively.
interesting. Should I rebrand myself as Burnt Peanut Burnell and just become a
we have to talk about
avatar?
Burnt Peanut. Fuck what I was saying.
Should I do that? I actually saw a post on X this morning. Keep in mind, I have never watched Burnt Peanut 1 second. I guess this guy is like, everyone's like, either they love him or they hate him. The post said...
Whoa, no way, guys. It turns out, if you're a content creator on the internet, people either like you or they don't. That's fucking insane information. No way. What a real nothing burger of a fucking sentence.
Like, how did Burnt Peanut go from being like a nobody to like virally popular overnight? And someone's like, the answer is very simple: slurs and view botting. And I'm like, is it really that bad? Is it really that bad today that like People went back to the early era of content creation, like what I used to do, constantly talking.
Like what I used to do. So is this DSP admitting to view botting, or because that's what I'm getting out of this segment, that we were capitalizing on using slurs and being offensive, which we've already admitted to, and then also using view bots. This is the old days. This is how they used to get it done back in the day.
About racial stuff, you know, over the top sexual stuff, slurs, just trying to get it
Doubling down on the
from a very
slurs.
immature audience, and then they view bot to look like they're important, and then people watch them because of it. Is that really what it was? I don't know. I've never watched the guy a single second, so I don't know anything about him. So I don't know what I don't know what kind of content he makes.
Please keep in mind that he just admitted to not knowing what kind of content this person does, nor also has not seen any content, not a single second of this burnt peanut style individual. Because he's gonna bring him up in a later clip as well and talk shit about him and the content that he makes.
He's appealing, but the way I see it, once again, it's another character. It's another dress up opportunity, right? It's another cartoon. The same thing that all these creators have done over the years. First, you overact to act like you're a cartoon. You're always going over the top acting. Then it became, well, now I'm actually going to try to make myself look like a cartoon. I'm going to dye my hair bright blue or purple. I'm going to dress in weird clothes to look. Then you got the Dr. Disrespect era. I'm going to dress up like I'm a bootleg G.I. Joe figure, and I'm going to talk stupidly on stream, again, to act like a cartoon character to appeal to an immature audience, right? But now we've gone full on. I'm not even going to show myself. I'm just going to be a fucking peanut. I'm literally just going to be a peanut on camera. I am a cartoon. It's no longer I'm going to overact like a cartoon. You are a cartoon. You're broadcasting a cartoon every day to immature children on the internet, and you're banking off of it.
DSP just not understanding well, you could call it a gimmick. It also a way to not, put your actual face and information out there, kind of like what he tells people to do all of the time by making alt accounts and sock accounts in order to tip him and use fake names here or there. I don't know why we're acting brand new about something that is not complicated. While it is a gimmick and it is for entertainment purposes, it doubles as a security feature. And we're gonna act as though we don't understand either aspect of that. Okay,
that's because
that's fine.
Popular is apparently.
How can you kill
right?
a god? What a
Thank
grand
you.
and intoxicating innocence.
Thank you, Lilypan Fran, for the 20 months as a member. I really appreciate it. Saying Atlas, the burnt bookkeeper. Well, the books are flammable. If there was a fire in here, I'd be gone.
So there you go.
I was actually thinking about, speaking of the burnt books, when I was reorganizing the garage, I came in back here to where I stream and I play my video games or whatever, and I was thinking about moving my bookshelf out of the sun because I was worried about the pages being fucked up by constant sunlight or regular sunlight. I don't think that's a real issue I should have, but it crossed my mind. Thank you, Sweet Papa Stovefight, for the 27 months. Holy shit. Saying, I don't know you, dude. You're just some weirdo who makes sandwich shop analogies and likes to talk about NWAs, but I've never heard of you. Well, that's real. At least you've heard of my antics. That's what's more important.
There's no bitterness. I don't know anything about Burnt Peanut. I don't know anything about them whatsoever. I'm responding to the person whose name is Burnt Peanut Burnell in the chat. If the guy's popular, he must have tapped into something that works. I've actually heard that a lot of other creators are jealous of the guy or they're salty, which is hilarious.
Oh yeah, other content creators are salty, obviously.
I don't.
Not
give a
DSP
shit.
though.
I'm happy with who I am and what I'm doing. I don't give a shit about other people and their success or failures. I just don't care. I'm here to do my own thing. Rabbit Doom says if you.
He's not salty about Burnt Peanut, but he was laughing like a maniac when he was announced for the Streamer Awards. He's brought him up constantly, talked about how he's view botting, is calling him a clown cartoon character for children, and accusing him, I don't know if this is true, of using slurs and a cheap gimmick to get more online popularity. But I don't know anything about him, and I don't care, and I'm not jealous, guys. I'm very happy.
What a grand and intoxicating innocence.
Thank you, Redbird, for the 19 months. Saying, can we A-log his fashion some more? Thoughts and opinions on this shirt? I think it's for women. Well, this is a classic DSP gaming merch style shirt, is it not? This is one of the best sellers he's ever had. This design that has nothing to do with DSP gaming almost at all whatsoever, except it has a crown. Does it say DSP gaming on it? I don't even know. I'm not a fan of this shirt, but I'm glad that it fits his dainty little atrophying body right now. This little grandpa build he's got going on. Thank you, Crooked Hound, for the $5, saying, so I guess he never paid attention to the fact that a lot of that hair dyeing craze was also part of raising awareness at that time for a cause. Now, we're going to look past that. People were doing that so that they could make money off of children, of course, and potentially be weird with children, but I'm not going to back that up. I don't know anything about that.
Put on blackface, you'd be a 1-to-1 LTG.
Okay, now we're talking about blackface.
I could never be LTG because I could never be that fucking retarded. You understand? Like, just the stuff that we talk about, the intelligence level, the fact that I cover topics, I don't sit and fucking look at Sora AI all day, and I can play games at a competent level. I can never be that
Sora
fucking brain
AI.
dead. Even if I acted like it, I couldn't do it. I couldn't pull it off. That's so funny. So this person says, lol, you can't even put sauce in a box for dipping properly. Except I did. But you don't know that because you only watched the detractor clip. The first part, I was like, oh, does it go in like this? This doesn't make sense because if you flip it, it falls out. And then I said, oh, no, this is how you do it. And then I did it the right way. They cut out the second half.
Okay.
Because that way it makes me look bad. But you're an idiot and you only watch the clip. You're a fucking dunce who doesn't watch the content.
But he didn't do it right the first time. And this person is probably implying that it's self-explanatory and he's dumb for not putting it together the first time. Okay. It's always a cope. It's always moving the goalpost, misunderstanding what this person is actually trying to say so that we can change the narrative. Guys, I'm actually not stupid for throwing my sauce about it in an incorrect manner in the box. Fuck you. I was right the whole time.
And you just...
I actually haven't even seen that that DSP tries it because I don't watch that bullshit.
Exposed yourself for being an idiot. So you know what? I'm not even going to allow you to speak. I'm just going to ban you.
Ack. I'm so right, you guys. I'm banning the opposition so they can't speak anymore.
Today is also
look how right I am.
DSP tries it, the Big Arch Burger from McDonald's. However, I go one step further. I'm not just going to review just the Big Arch and say, here's the burger, here's the taste test. All right, I'm going to get this, the Big Mac,
right,
and I'm going to get the Quarter Pounder with cheese. And we're going to do a direct comparison of all three burgers to tell you what actually is the best burger that you can get at McDonald's right now. All right? So we're going to do all three.
Guys. 3 burgers. Please keep in mind this is Mr. Protein, Mr. Healthy Lifestyle, Mr. Big Gains. He's tall, handsome, and fit now. And funny, might I add. But he's going to be taste testing 3 huge McDonald's burgers, you guys. Mr. Goat.
Which has the most meat? Is the patty the same between this one and this one? Which has the best flavor? We're going to do a triple taste test live of the 3 big burgers that you can get at McDonald's right now to determine the best one. So it's not just the Big Arch, but it's a triple head-to-head taste test. There you go. Someone tipped $1 and said...
And look, usually I'm a McDonald's slop advocate. I don't like that about myself, but I like it. I like a McDonald's fucking Big Mac and a cold Coke. Okay, that is a guilty pleasure of mine. But the idea of getting all 3 burgers and doing a taste test did not even appeal to me. Like that's how bad this one missed the mark, buddy. That even the biggest McDonald's enjoyer of us all was not interested in the fucking the Arch taste test. I still haven't even eaten the burger.
Despite looking older than ever. That's hilarious. Yeah, this is obviously a jab. You're looking older than ever.
Who eats less like a human, DSP or the McDonald's CEO? Oh, fuck. Dude, DSP. Because at least, like, you only have one instance of the McDonald's CEO just refusing to eat his own slop. DSP eats everything insanely. There's not a normal video of him eating.
Well, I am older than ever. That's how time works. You understand? As you get older, you don't look younger. That doesn't happen. You either stay looking the same or you look older. There's no way to go backwards in time. For the record here, let's be clear, okay?
Anyway, well.
You seem to be taking it well.
It's not even true. Guys, Lindsay Lohan looked terrible and then looked way better all of a sudden for no apparent reason, right? Like, there is a way to go back if you fucked it up.
And you're being wise about aging gracefully. A picture of LTG taken at a convention has exposed him as someone who uses filters to look younger. What wisdom can you share about being comfortable in your own skin? It's this simple, all right? It's very simple. If you accept reality, all right, which is you're going to get older, you're going to look different, things will not be as they were when you were in your youth. Okay. The moment that you accept that, it just becomes easy. Okay.
Okay. So guys, the second that you just give up and accept fate as it is, all of a sudden, everything is way easier once you just stop resisting. Once you go gently into the good night, all of a sudden your problems go away. It's actually way easier than you're making it out to be.
For me, think of it this way. I'm happily
just
married.
fold.
So I'm not trying to go out there
Simple.
looking like some kind of a freaking Adonis and trying to show off for the women and be like, oh, look at me. I don't need to. I'm happily married. Now, by the way, that doesn't mean I let myself go. You notice I'm looking slimmer. I'm looking buffer.
So
than
buff.
I
Look
have
at him.
since I started as a YouTuber.
Hang on, can I run it back? Can we get another?
Now, by the way,
flex?
that doesn't mean I let myself go. You notice I'm looking slimmer. I'm looking.
Hell yeah, brother! Look at that not man meat. Nope. Look at that muscle, that man muscle. He's fucking ripped. He's a roaring to go, buddy. Get him in the ring. He's ready to do it to him.
Buffer than I have since I started as a YouTuber. This is actually the best physical shape I've been in since my early 20s. I'm 175 pounds.
His body's shrinking while his head is expanding.
I never thought I would get.
Well, that's why people think he's on fucking Ozempic, because his body is actively atrophying while his head remains the exact same size. But it looks like it's getting bigger, just in comparison. There's just anyway.
Once I got fat, I never thought I would get back to how I used to be, and I have. Okay, but I don't need to show off. I'm not doing it.
I don't need to show off. I just bring it up all of the time as a cudgel to beat the detractors over the head with, to claim that I'm being healthy. But I don't have to show off. I don't have to bring it up.
I'm young again and I'm strong again and look how much I can lift. Here, I'm going to record my workouts and share them with you. I'm not going to do that. I'm not doing that at all. I don't care. I'm doing it for my own health so that I can be there to spend time with my wife as long as I possibly can and have a good life with her. That's why I'm doing the workouts. That's why I'm trying, I'm not doing it to look like a young guy. Oh, look at me. Oh, let me flex on stream every day. I don't need to.
And look, all of that is fine. You might even be able to say that that's respectable, to get your life together, to get healthier, eat better, start working out in order to live longer and spend and have more time and memories with your loved ones. All respectable, but it does go again to show you just how far behind in life DSP's brain really is. That it took him until he was, what, we'll call it 41. We'll say he started 2 years ago or whatever. It took until he was in his 40s to realize that he actually needed to take care of himself, to eat better, and to actually do something physical so he doesn't just waste away into a gelatinous piece of shit. It's a little late to be coming to that realization that you have to take care of yourself. It seems like a pretty fundamental thing to understand about life, but he's just dragging behind.
Now, in regards to how I look, I just, I've asked my wife, what do you think? Do you think that I should change?
Also, yes, Astroga, he has said before he plans on dying before his wife, which is a crazy thing to wish upon your wife.
Change my beard. Should I dye my beard? Should I grow my beard out all the way? What do you think about my hair? And she just tells me the same answer. I like you how you are. I don't want you to change. You can if you want. Like she's outright told me, listen, if you get tired of how you look, or if you think that you could look better on a stream if you dyed your beard, if you did this, if you did that, then go for it. But I like you how you are, and I would be not sad, but she would be not even disappointed. What's the word? Like, obviously she would accept it, but she wouldn't be as happy with how I looked if I changed how I look.
That's not what she said at all. Actually just putting words in her mouth. That is not what she says. She's happy with basically whatever you do. She likes you for you, boss. You be who you want to be. And DSP took that as, if I change, my wife is going to be sad. If I work on myself and I try and look better and present myself as a younger, more put together individual than I really am, she would dislike that. Is not at all what she said. She might even appreciate a little bit of effort and not looking like a fucking melting slob like he is. But yeah, she's indifferent is the exact way to put it, Inked. Not that she would be sad if he changed. She's completely indifferent and neutral on the matter. But we're going to use her as the excuse as to why we can't be better looking. Thank you, NWO News, for the 5, saying, I'd be okay with Iran, New King USA if I knew for sure that this dude goes with us. Oh, I get it. New King. Gotcha. Well, no, we'll just send him over there. That's the easier solution.
That's what she's told me. Okay.
Thank you for the 5.
So since that's
I think
the
you got your
case,
head on
hey,
backwards, so it's easier to send
just
to
be
him.
you, right? Don't need to
How's
get
he gonna
hair club for
stop
men
us?
because my hairline is receding here. Don't need to dye my beard. Don't need to do any of that shit. I'm good. And in fact, I'm feeling better right now than I have in a very long time. I'm feeling very happy and healthy. I'm sore because I'm working out.
Descending
but I'm
DSP is
happy
a
and I'm
war
healthy, and that's what's
crime.
important, you know? Like last night, I once again hit a new record for sit-ups. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm doing this much exercise and I'm able to pull it off at my age. Never did I thought I'd be almost 44 years old and I'm doing this much exercise and it's working, it's going. I'm like, wow.
See, but this just goes against what he just said, though. I don't have to flex about it. I don't have to talk about it and film my workouts. I don't have to prove anything to anybody. But here he is continuing to brag and draw out the discussion so we can tell you that he's hitting more sit-ups than he's ever hit before in his entire life, while also refusing to give you the numbers so you can't fact check him on whether or not it's good. Like, what are we doing here if you don't have shit to prove? Just wasting time then.
It's excellent. And now I'm sore as shit. My back is killing me. My stomach is killing me because I did so many last night. But it's working out. Like I said, I am 175 pounds. My torso is like a freaking rock. I'm like, damn, this is awesome. So good stuff all around there. All right. But that's the thing. Guy like LTG and others, they're having midlife crises. To them, the reason that they need to exude this youth is because they can't accept the fact that they're getting older. They can't accept the fact that things change. Things will sag. Things will get wrinkly. Your hair will change color. Yes, I'm really sure that LTG doesn't have a single gray hair anywhere on his head at his age of 40 years old. Right. I'm sure that he had never got a gray hair in his life, right? We all believe that. It's totally all legit. Yeah, right. There's not a single male on fucking earth who doesn't have a gray hair at the age of 40. Not one. They all.
I just don't understand why we're so angry about this. Why we're so passionate about the way that we've decided to, we of course being all of us in DSP, because we're of course on the same team. Why we as DSP fans decided that we need to die on the hill that we are aging gracefully and we have the correct path on how to do aging gracefully. Meanwhile, LTG looks significantly better than DSP in every facet and is obviously way healthier looking at him. Why we're going to pretend as though we've picked the correct path. I don't understand why this is so important.
all have it. Okay. So you don't have to.
The hair dye is eating at DSP's brain, I guess. I don't.
If you've accepted who you are and you're okay with yourself. Okay. It's that simple. I'm not trying to impress anyone here. Anyone at all. I just want to be healthy. Blind, I did not take RTU's advice on mic placement. I always knew that this type of microphone is supposed to be positioned like this, but my old setup didn't let me do it. My old setup, I had a laptop in front of me here on a laptop desk. I had a bootleg piece of shit desk sitting over here, okay, that I could barely even attach the microphone to. The only way to get the microphone in position was to have it hanging from above, which is still a viable way to have a microphone. But you're right, when you talk down into this style of mic, it works a little better. And by the way, for the record, the real reason it sounds...
Okay, so he didn't take the advice, except he did take the advice. And the only reason he didn't take the advice before was because the setup didn't allow for it. But if you listen to his excuse making at the time, it was because it didn't actually matter. And there was no... that he was doing it correctly the whole time. And RTU didn't know what he was talking about. That was the original story. But now apparently it does make a difference. This is the way to do it.
Better is because I bought the Roland Bridgecast and I'm using software to edit how the microphone sounds. It's actually not the positioning whatsoever.
Okay. So it's actually, so despite what we just said about how this is the correct positioning for it and it does sound better when we do it this way, it's actually not making it sound any better and is instead the Roland Bridgecast that is the difference. Are we following? Are you guys tracking? We're retconning in real time something we just said one sentence ago. Are you following? You tracking? Thank you, Redbird, for the 2, saying, how does the 3 McBurgers fit into his health plan? Now, that's a great question. That is, I don't know. I don't know how 3 McBurgers would fit into my health plan. And I'm not even on my health and fitness arc like the guy is, so I genuinely couldn't tell you. And as a non-soda drinker now, I feel no inclination to get fast food like that. If I can't get a soda with my burger, I don't fucking want it.
If I put it up here like this,
thank you for the 2, Redbird.
which is how it used to be, it still sounds exactly the same. You notice that? This is exactly how it used to be. And now I put it back down. and it sounds exactly the same. There's no difference. It's not the positioning, it's the software and the Roland Bridgecast that's doing it.
Gotcha.
So there you go.
There you go.
But it was just viability. Like, people kept bothering me saying, hey, your mic's in the wrong position. It's like, yeah, I know. What would you like me to do? I can't make the mic be in the right position with the old shitty setup I had.
But that's not what he said in the past. He fucking swore up and down that the way he was doing it was the right way to do it, and doing it any other way was just completely unacceptable. And these people don't know what they're talking about. And now we're blaming our fucking setup because our setup was holding back the ability to do the correct thing, because he bought bullshit, because he's incapable of actually planning anything.
I actually have a real desk on which I can attach the mic arm properly. I have monitors on monitor arms that I can move around, and now I can get the mic in proper position, whether I'm doing a podcast or I'm doing a chill hangout session like I'm doing with you right now, or whether I'm gaming over here. I can move the mic position to the right spot, and it sounds good no matter where I am now. That's good, right? That's an improvement that I've done. But, you know,
throwing
people
Romans, we'll talk about
saying,
protein
you're doing
later.
It wrong. Like, yeah,
but
I fucking know I'm
agree.
doing it wrong. I
agree.
can't do it right. I don't have the means to do it right, so stop bothering me. The funny part is,
also, the idea that people should know not to bother you or tell you about an improvement that you can make simply because you decided that you were going to buy a bunch of random bullshit for your setup and have this weird retarded layout with improper angles and all sorts of nonsense about. They're just supposed to not bring it up to you. They're not supposed to try and help you or make you aware of something that you could do differently. They're also just supposed to know that that is the case. They're supposed to be that aware. Oh, okay, right on. No, that makes sense. But you're a creepy stalker if you keep track of anything that DSP says and are able to put together his web of lies and all of his excuses. That makes you a fucking a creepy stalker, weirdo, no life dunce or something.
I did it, okay, that way for a year, and no one really cared. Like, the audio was...
They did. They brought it up all of the time, and that's why you were throwing a fucking fit about it. God
good.
damn.
When I did it for that year, no one really gave a shit that the mic wasn't in the proper position, right? I think, in general, it sounded pretty good.
What's up, simple guy?
It wasn't a big
it's all
deal.
right.
Well, now that we have some good attendance building up, I'd like to say welcome everyone to the stream. This is the DSP Morning Show, although it just hit afternoon. We'll probably hang out for about another 20 minutes or so, and then we will get started with around 3.5 hours of Resident Evil 9 Requiem on today's afternoon stream. If you're here and you have a good time today, I would urge you to please support the content in some way.
Please support
One of the ways
content.
you can support it is by liking the stream right now. If you've been enjoying this morning show and hanging out and you're having a good time, if you're on YouTube, please give it a like. The likes are helping engagement.
We're begging for likes again. Like, I know this isn't new. We've been doing this for a little while now, but it always sticks out to me that we went from saying that likes don't matter, they don't affect the channel, it's not worth asking for, who gives a shit, to all of a sudden we brought them back. And every time he does the bit now, I can't help but it just sticks out like a sore thumb. What happened? What changed?
Ton. My streams are showing
never
up in
got
the algorithm.
an explanation.
The content, the views are up. If the engagement's up, it helps all that. So please like the stream. Now, if you want to go above and beyond, like Jaren just did, there's many ways that you can support the content. If you're on YouTube, you can do a super chat. You become a member of the channel, which will earn you a whole bunch of emotes and a cool chat crown badge. Or you can give some memberships to your fellow viewer. It would be nice to do that. We haven't had any of those yet today. On the kick side, you could send me some kicks. Or you could become a paid subscriber and, again, unlock emotes and the crown. Or you could give some subs to your fellow viewer as well. Something that I haven't mentioned in a very long time, there are limited time badges that are available on the kick side.
Badges, boys.
If you give 10 subs, I'll give you the VIP badge.
No
which is
way.
a special badge that sticks next to your name permanently in chat. If you
Oh
give
my
20
God.
subs, I'll give you the OG badge, which is another permanent unlock.
I wish I would have known, dude. I would have got in there and got my fucking VIP badge. That's so cool.
And it's incredibly rare because almost no one does that much
Incredibly
support,
rare.
Okay, that's available. That's been available for a long time. I just haven't really talked about it. Now, if you're not interested in either the YouTube or Kickstarter stuff, but you still want to support the content, you could send a tip via PayPal. And that's just a third-party thing. You can find the link to my tips in the description of the stream, but no matter where you're watching, or you can type the exclamation point tip in chat.
Holy
exclamation
bag
point
segment.
TIP.
Jesus
It'll bring up the
Christ.
command. You click on that, and you'll be able to go ahead and support via PayPal if you'd like to do that. And
But please keep in mind, getting a shirt with your money is absolutely unacceptable and definitely the hallmark of a scammer.
no matter how you contribute, I will give you a big shout out.
You
Okay?
should just give him money for a shout out.
There you go.
Obviously.
Thank you guys. Okay, I'm going to be honest. Let's be honest here, because people are criticizing now in chat. They're like, oh, it's not about the joy of learning how to play the game yourself. It's about being told how to do it. Okay, here's what I want you to think.
Which people have been telling him for a long time in regards to quite a few games. Now, I don't necessarily know if this is in context to RE9 or to, I guess, RimWorld, which I think he's still fucking playing somehow.
It's your first day on the job. You'll walk into the assembly room, okay? And they show you a metal
But this
press.
is insane. This is so dumb.
So there's two situations. Situation number one, your new boss says, okay, I'm going to teach you how to use this metal press to do your job. Here's how you do it. Step one, you release the clamp like this, right? Step two, you get the piece of metal, the raw metal, you put it in. Step three, you put the clamp down like this. Step four, you push the button. Step five, right? Okay. All right, you see what happened? So now the product's done.
Just a very nondescript manufacturing job that he didn't have that many steps for. He's worked so little in his life, he's never manufactured a goddamn thing and couldn't even give you a pretend process in depth.
That's how you do it. Let's see you
Hilarious.
do it one more time. Okay, sure. To do it like, oh, no, you forgot the step. Okay, thank you. Thanks for reminding me. Now let me learn how to do it right. You do it. Okay, so then you learn how to do it. And then your boss says, all right, I showed you how to do it. You learned how to do it. Have a good day. Do be productive. Okay, sure. Right? So that's scenario number one. Scenario number two, it's your first day on the job. You walk into the assembly area. Your boss walks you over to the machine, the press machine. He says, okay, have a good day. And he just walks away. And you're staring at the machine like, the fuck is this? What? Huh?
Oh my
How
god.
do I do it? Is there any instructions? Nope, there's nothing. Oh.
Please keep in mind this is about a video game. This analogy is because he refuses to learn how to play video games by himself, and he's likened it to an actual manufacturing job in real life.
Okay, I guess I'll just flub it. So you put your first piece of metal in. You did it completely wrong. You fucked it all up. All right, throw that to the side. Start over. You get your second piece of metal. You put, oh fuck, I fucked up again. You put it in. So 7 hours later, through arduous trial and error, you finally figured out how to do it properly, or did you? You did get the end product to work, but it was such a chore to do. Maybe you're not even doing it efficiently, but at least you got it done. But
what does it matter about doing it efficiently when you're playing a video game, dude? He's played infinite fucking video games at this point, and we're gonna pretend as though every single one of them is some sort of unique experience, that it's completely impossible to transfer one skill set from a different video game into it. Every game is this fucking way. It's just bullshit, dude. It's just fucking cope because he's terrible and incapable of learning.
it took you 7 hours to figure out how to do it yourself. Oh, by the way, you wasted 7 hours of time that should have been productive, and you should have been putting out product. Do you see the difference? I'm a streamer, okay? A streamer is supposed to be interacting and entertaining you, not sitting there fucking about trying to figure out how to do something because the game doesn't explain it. So it's much better for me to have an interactive stream with you where you could say, hey, so we know what this game is. Let's explain the basics. Then you'll learn them on the fly, and then we could get going with a serious run and have fun.
How can you kill
So you can do that for like a stream or two. I learn, and then we have fun together.
So-
innocence.
This is just him openly saying that he does not enjoy the actual part of the game where you don't know anything and you like gradually come to grips with like whether it be something in the world that you don't understand, or how the mechanics are working together, or how to combo them in a way that like utilizes them more efficiently. He doesn't actually have any interest in figuring that out himself. He's not interested in the discovery period of a video game. He simply wants to be better than they expect you to be immediately, so that he can have a better experience, which just means he fails less, because failing is fodder for the trolls, of course. That's what we're talking about here. Yeah, he has no analytical thinking whatsoever. Exactly. He's not interested in actually understanding anything. He just wants to know in the end how it all works together so that he can utilize it to his best advantage and look the best he possibly can. It's entirely selfish, and it's all about ego at that point. Thank you, Kid Wills, for the 2, saying that's the shirt you get for free when you buy earbuds. I believe that. That is the type of super basic generic design that you would get. I agree. And thank you, Pope Super Kame Jizzler, for the 22 months, saying he's blue collar, Atlas. He could totally operate a press and make it home safely. The thought of him working with any form of tool is beyond hilarious. I agree. I'm trying to envision DSP working in the machine shop that I used to work at and watching him run a CNC machine. Oh, buddy. The amount of tools and spindles that motherfucker would have broke, he'd have been gone. He'd have been out. I thank you, Stephen Hawking, for the 2, saying, boss, I need more yellow paint. I'm confused. They got to put the press handle in yellow paint, and then they got to like put the cart handle that you put the part on in yellow paint so he knows that's the one. It's true. DSP needs yellow paint in real life. I agree. Thank you for the 2.
Or I fuck about for 7 streams where I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm failing. I'm miserable. I'm messed up. Haha.
DSP
so who does that
versus
cater
the lane.
to? Morons and trolls who just want to see the streamer suffer, not make good content, not have a good social interactive time, but instead we just want to see them fail miserably so we can clip farm.
How can you kill a god?
See the difference?
What a grand
It's called
and
being intelligent versus being a fucking
intoxicating
idiot.
See, and that's what it's boiling down to in the end, is he genuinely thinks that the only reason people would ever want to see his actual thinking process, his understanding of video games in motion, the only reason that they would want to see that is because they want specifically to see him fail, because I guess success is completely off the table for him. They want to see him fail, and they're obviously trolls that are going to capitalize off of it and make money. It can't just be for entertainment for his own audience that they might want to see him fuck things up every once in a while. That's not even a possibility. It's only because of the trolls, dude. It's insane how concerned he is about fucking I guess it's not that insane given who he is and the things that he gets made fun of for, but like it's his top priority almost all of the time, it seems. We can't even have real fun anymore because what if somebody laughs at us? Thank you, Sleepy Don, for the 26 months, saying that sounds like instant gratification that he accused everyone else of wanting. Well, it is. DSP is everything that he hates and everybody else. It's just different because he's doing it. He's the only one. That's why he's allowed to buy Nintendo products, and you're not, because you would be getting scammed. He's a content creator, so anyway. Thank you, Pope Super Kame Jizzler, for the 2, saying DSP tries it, mauled by a lathe. I agree. I agree. I've seen many a video like that when I worked at a machine shop.
I'm not a fucking idiot anymore, that's for sure. I don't clip farm for these idiots, so I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to interact with my audience, have a good time, and make good content in the process. I'm not going to listen to idiots who just demand everything. It's just the same idiots who say, well, anytime you play a game, play it on the hardest difficulty the first time. Well, I don't even know the gameplay mechanics
That's
yet.
what real
Too bad. Just play
gamers
it on
do.
the hardest difficulty because we want to see you fail and suffer and be miserable. No.
They want you to look. And as a hard difficulty enjoyer myself, I think it's a different experience to try and put together the mechanics if they are unique and different in a meaningful way. A lot of buzzwords there. But if they are, it's interesting to try and put them together when there's more stakes. There's more danger. Hits are hitting harder. There's less resources, right? Having to deal with all of that and then also put together the mechanics and the story and experiencing it for the first time is different. And that might be what people want out of DSP. But instead, you get the developer intended baby mode difficulty with all of the yellow paint and HUD elements that never leave you alone and the character dialogue constantly giving you the answers. It's just a sad state of affairs.
Fuck you. This isn't the torture stream to torture the streamer. This is the stream where I make entertainment content for people who are nice people who are not sociopaths, who want to see people suffer and have pain. There's a place for that. You want to know what it's called? Lolcow Live. You can go to Lolcow Live and see people torture themselves, publicly humiliate themselves, do horrible rituals to themselves. And then if you like that content, you can support it. That's not what DSP Gaming is. There's a place for that. It ain't this channel.
It's not. So if you want to see people actually struggle and have any sort of difficulty, do not come to DSP Space Gaming. It's all easy baby mode over here, and we only have good times. No strife whatsoever. It's interesting that way, of course.
Absolutely, Quantum. Quantum Daniel says, to be fair,
Also,
it's not
yeah.
necessarily about...
Thank you, Redbird. Playing hard games isn't torture. It's, again, crazy that he's describing playing video games as torture. He's comparing it to an actual manufacturing jobs in some sort of metal industry. This is how he views playing video games. Something that people do regularly for fun all of the time in their free time for no pay whatsoever. But DSP's actively getting paid for it, and he's acting as though it's some sort of slave labor he's out here performing. It's insane.
Playing a game well. Many streamers aren't great at games. It's more important to be entertaining. And do you think someone would be more entertaining when they are enjoying what they're doing because they understand it and they're making progress? Or if they're just beating their head against a brick wall like this, not knowing what the hell's going on, failing miserably and being miserable? What's more entertaining? You might say torture. If you like torture, go to a torture stream.
All right, guys, there you have it. DSP's permission to go watch gore online. That's apparently your own prerogative. DSP endorses any gore you want to go watch. So good luck and have fun.
They exist. Again, the lolcow stuff exists. You could go to a torture stream. You can see
lolcow
a
stuff. Never mind.
take off
I
his
lied.
fucking shirt in a public humiliation ritual. Okay? You could see a guy say the N-word a million times, then do a public punishment by drawing all over his body in permanent marker. These things exist. If you like public torture, go watch public torture. That's not what DSP gaming is and never will be. Okay?
Oh, okay. DSP will never be about torture, guys. You will never see any... Well, I'll just stop there. We won't continue that any further. Let's watch some Resident Evil 9 gameplay, you guys. Let's enjoy some of this very robust and meaningful, chill, positive style content that is not hoof held whatsoever. And this is where the problem really arises, is when our hoof isn't being held, we get moments like this.
Great. Are we ever gonna kill this bitch? This is ridiculous. So many hours into the game, we're still hunted by the one thing? Fuck this thing. Kill it. Enough of this. Shoot this bitch.
Great gameplay here.
Oh, we gotta get out of here.
Character clearly just told him we gotta get out of here. The lights drawing his attention to the exact wall he's facing as they go off. And he's got no commentary, too. Just that whole segment in complete silence. Yeah, it's also exactly 7. It's doing the same animation over and over again, not indicating any progress whatsoever. And he's just confused. He doesn't even know what to say.
Do you see why this game is so stupid? I'm sorry, it's a criticism. I was supposed to know I have to use the Requiem. Why?
Why? Is the Requiem is the big pistol, correct? Is that what I was seeing, I was reading, I was hearing on online? Because I haven't played this game or seen any of it.
So now do the whole sequence over.
But that's not even true. He doesn't even have to use the big fuck pistol.
This is fucking stupid. Now I have to do all that over because the game is fucking stupid. Yeah, that's dumb. Sorry. This game is not perfect. That's dumb shit. You know what?
Look, instantly going into how the developers are stupid. They designed the game like shit. It's not his fault. When I'm pretty sure just last week we were talking about how we've completely changed. We don't do that anymore. We don't blame the developers. We take it on the chin. We have more fun. It's more chill. That was old Phil that would do that, and that was unacceptable. But in RE9, literally this week,
no one played on this difficulty. So because of that, everyone it auto reloads and lets you redo it. But because I'm playing on classic, start from where you saved with the ink ribbon. So now you don't get to retry. What a waste of my fucking time. So now I literally got to go back again, workshop, go through, grab that, again, lockpick, get the item, go back, grab this, go back, run again, go back. This is fucking stupid.
These are literally just fucking hallways that it looks like he's got to walk down, bro. He's and that's the thing too, is like there's not even like any sort of relief in the fact that he's already familiar with the layout. He knows where the enemies are going to be at. He knows in what order he has to do the things. He can just beeline it and be done with it. He's acting as though he has to rediscover the entire order of operations here, and it's going to take just as long, when the reality is it should take a fraction of the amount of time.
It says, you should have used the Requiem. How the fuck do I know that? Why is it a puzzle? Just let me shoot the fucking enemy. That's terrible. That's legit stupid. Don't make it a puzzle.
Don't make it a puzzle, guys. No more puzzle bosses.
You don't have to use the Requiem. Then what do? I shot her 10 times in the fucking eye. In the eye that was bulged in my face. What was I supposed to do? This is what I mean. You want to kill the blister head? Well, you have to either inject it or you have to use the Requiem. No other way to kill it. You want to kill the blister head as Leon, you have to do the sequence of 3 bullets to the head, then a melee, then an axe. Keep meleeing, doesn't work. Keep shooting, doesn't work. Why? Why is it a puzzle? I hate this. Make it like classic survival horror that you can just survive by shooting things.
I just want to shoot the shit, you guys.
Is
I
that
don't
too hard
want to
to ask?
actually
Why
think about anything.
Is it a fucking puzzle?
Put the enemy in my
my
face,
God.
let me shoot it indefinitely, and then I win. That's the game I want.
I don't want to redo 10 minutes of fucking gameplay, and now I have to. I should have never played it on classic mode. Because, again, like I said earlier, it doesn't add anything to the game. It doesn't make it any harder. It just wastes your time. It makes you have to redo sequences for no good reason.
Okay, we've completely missed the point then. The idea is that it's supposed to, it's supposed to put more, it's supposed to make it more impactful. There's more at stake because you have to repeat more of the gameplay. You should be more careful, more astute, more observant, right? That's the idea of playing on a difficulty like this, where you will be impeded for your inability to do it correctly. At least I thought so. But yeah, no, there's no stakes. You're right. My bad. Thank you, NWO News, for the 5, saying good engagement, low support. Good support, low attendance. Good attendance, no engagement. Why is this a puzzle? I agree, dude. They should just let him fire up the stream and then just let him go to town and make infinite money. That's what he wants.
What is the purpose of me redoing this? 0. And by the way, now, because I'm angry, I
Thank you
forgot
for
the
the 5.
lockpick. So now I'm not going to lockpick and get the item.
Yo, and that's crazy too. I'm angry, so I forgot stuff, and that's the game's
Fucking
fault.
terrible.
Bad game design. I'm seething. That's so crazy. These fucking developers are bad because I'm angry.
No, I don't need yellow paint. I need the game to be intuitive. What's the first thing you think of when there's a giant monster in your face with a big swollen eye right in your face? Weak point, shoot it. No, oh, wrong. Now redo the segment. No. Be intuitive. Maybe there should have been multiple ways to do that. Maybe either shoot her in the eye 10 times with the regular gun, shoot her with the Requiem once, or maybe another thing, right?
Right, so we should have no fail states whatsoever. We shouldn't be allowed to be killed. Every option that we take should have been the correct one. We should have been able to fight like shit, run away, and probably even a 4th option of hide. I think all of those should have been on the table, and all of them should have been a passable, objective, and then we could just move on like nothing happened.
Instead, it's just
That's
do
a
what
good
we
idea.
tell you. See, use the Requiem. I don't like it. Oh, that didn't happen last time.
Because he wasn't looking at the fucking actual wall. And I'm not going to run it back. I'm going to pig-splain it to you for all of my audio styles anyway that I didn't see the gameplay in the first place. Initially, in the first half of the clip, he was watching the lady run up the side and then immediately started staring up at the ceiling as soon as the event happened instead of looking around. And that's why he was facing the wall he was supposed to go through and do this QuickTime event to continue and progress the story. Also, why the dialogue activated where the character said, "We need to get out of here," and he did nothing. He just wasn't looking because he had already made up his mind of what he was going to do. He's just dumb.
That didn't happen the first time.
Hurry! Go!
That's fucking stupid.
Let's play!
Did she just get her foot chopped off? Oh shit, she just got her foot chopped off.
She did not.
Oh no! Oh, okay, it was her hand. I thought she got her foot chopped off. Okay.
Just lying
Well,
to
we
the
know she
people.
regenerates, so she's gonna get it back. Now, let's...
He couldn't even just wait for the fucking cutscene to play out. Just having a reaction to have a reaction.
be honest, that was stupid. You had to ignore the big thing coming for you to see the A prompt in front of you. You actually had to be unobservant and ignore the giant monster coming for you to see the A prompt in front of you and escape the elevator.
You have to be unobservant to experience a deadly threat and then look for a way out. Guys, you have to be completely fucking insanely retarded in order to not understand this. Clearly. Also, complaining very loudly over the cutscene is obviously peak cinema. Everybody who's watching this in the future is going to enjoy this.
Terrible. That was really stupid. See, I'm sorry. Again, you guys know I tell it like it is. Okay? You're in an elevator. The elevator stops. Something bursts through the ceiling. Would you try to shoot the monster trying to kill you in the ceiling, or would you stop looking at the thing trying to kill you and look at the door and see if there's a fucking prompt to mash the button and get out? I do the logical thing in the situation.
I do the logical
I have guns,
thing.
shoot the monster. Maybe then it'll go away, and then you can escape. No, you were supposed to ignore the threat, ignore the imminent danger that's right there, and look over here instead.
But the exact same argument could be made the exact fucking opposite way. It really all depends on what you're thinking in the moment and where your cursor currently is. Because it's just as logical, if not more, to say, why the fuck would I want to get into this engagement with this deadly monster in this tight-ass elevator when she's got this long-ass arm? Can I get out of this tight, enclosed space to a place where she can't reach me, and then I could shoot? It's just, like I said, just as logical, if not more so. But it's not what DSP thought. Therefore, anybody who thought otherwise is an idiot. They don't know how to play games.
Sorry, that's stupid. Now, how is it that other people probably did that easily? Because they're not fucking observant. They don't notice that her hand's coming through and she's trying to kill you. They just were staring all around, out of the way, and saw the prompt. So because I'm an observant gamer, it actually punished me.
I'm too
Great.
Observant.
People are saying you
Therefore,
were
I was
able to pick up the
punished.
severed hand next to the elevator. Yeah, but here's the thing. I'm angry because the game had a bad piece of game design that made me replay 10 minutes of gameplay. So I'm not observant anymore because I'm angry.
Yo, him blaming the game on how angry he is, and that's why he's missing and forgetting shit is crazy work. I just can't imagine. It's one thing to be upset about some shitty mechanics. You don't like the way that something played out. But then to be angry after the fact and just start blaming shit on that is so funny.
Now
What
I've
is
calmed
wrong
down
with
and now
this
I'm observant
guy?
again and now I'm looking for items and I found the green herb.
And now I'm observant again. Look at me find this green herb. See, guys? I'm totally back on my peak observation skills, obviously.
What's the purpose of getting the hand? Does it do anything? Do you need it? Or is it just a collectible? Now we're in the water. What are we doing in here?
Fucking nonsense commentary. I'm in the water, guys.
No, I'm angry because I don't like wasting time. And I don't like it when a game screws me over like it just did. But, you know, I'm past it. But, of course, you got idiots in the chat who are trying to fuck with me and get me angrier. Again, that's not a problem for anyone because if they die in that elevator, they didn't play classic mode. So they just, you know, reload from that elevator. But I didn't do that, so I had to reload from the ink ribbon, and that's what made me angry. You just have to redo that gameplay, but...
Right, so him being angry is actually all his fault because he decided to play on this difficulty. Gotcha. So what are we complaining about? Your own decision? Crazy. Also, we're just assuming that nobody else is playing on the classic difficulty with ink ribbons. Every other person is playing on the fucking modern baby mode, of course, because Resident Evil players are known for being big babies and never doing any sort of challenges whatsoever. They don't like to challenge themselves. That's why they don't do any of the speed runs or get the top ranks to unlock more stuff and beat the game at rates to unlock more things like infinite ammo and additional characters, but they never do that. None of that is a feature in any Resident Evil game because they hate challenge, right?
It is what it is. So now I have this and I don't even know what to do with it.
It's like he doesn't even know the fucking product, bro. But anyway, that was our robust Resident Evil 9 gameplay. That is how we spent the vast majority of our week, unfortunately. He started playing, what was it, Friday? Resident Evil came out. And then he played Sunday, and then he played it every day all the way up until and through Thursday. So much Resident Evil for the week. Just insane. And we actually have a whole cope about that right here.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the DSP Morning Show here on DSP Gaming. It is bright and early. It is 11:07 a.m. Normally, the stream wouldn't even go online until like 11:15.
Resident Evil overload. That's how I
got in here
felt.
and I was like,
I was
I'm
done
ready to
with
go
it.
today. Today, I'm reapplying myself. I'm reinvigorated. I'm ready for major progress in Resident Evil Requiem. In fact, today, I'm committing. I want to get Leon to the Raccoon City Police Department. I don't know how long that's going to take, but I want to do it because that seems to be the highlight of the game, doesn't it? Like, that's the big thing about the game is that you're going to return to the RPD and the actual map and location of the original Resident Evil 2.
Was that the big thing? As a non-Resident Evil enjoyer, I didn't even know that was a feature in the game until it came out and people said so. Is that the big hype? Is that what people were looking for? I thought they were just interested in a new Resident Evil game that expands the lore and continues the story or whatever. I didn't know that there was some sort of grand idea that we were going to go back to our RPD.
And I'm ready for it. I want to do it today. So let's get it going. Let's get people excited again for Resident Evil. I think when you get a game like this and it drags out, right, some of the hype is lost. I think that's what's happened this week is I'm playing this game every day for around 3 hours. Right now we're 14 hours into it and it's still going on. It's like, well, what's going to happen? Well, actually yesterday there was 0 plot, right?
Holy shit.
Literally no plot development at all. Just raw gameplay with Leon.
It's like playing Final Fantasy VII. Fuck, what did they call it? The second one. The last one. The DSP Rage Quit. There's like no fucking plot for like 10 goddamn hours of gameplay. It's crazy. It's actually insane.
Figuring out how his combat works, upgrading all of his guns, and exploring for optional stuff, which we did find a lot of options.
Yes, Rebirth. Thank you. Thank you. I put it down for a while. I literally forgot the name.
And I loved it. Like I did. I absolutely loved it. But the thing is, most creators rush through this game, which I'm now finding out that most people today who are doing playthroughs are not doing thorough playthroughs. They don't care. It's hilarious.
They don't care. I'm the only one that cares about my gameplay. That's why I talk over the cutscenes and get irate and blame the devs all the time. Because I care.
Because you have to understand that I'm someone who's been around for so long, right? First of all, today is Wednesday, the 4th of March, 2026. I should say that. I forgot to say the date before I got started with my topic for this morning. But if you're not aware, okay, back in the day, when I was a much bigger YouTuber,
Storytime with Grandpa,
as one of the go-to guys for video game playthroughs, I would buy a game on release day, rush home and unbox it, make an unboxing video, immediately start recording. This was before I even live streamed or did anything direct capture.
Right.
That release day.
Jesus Christ. Again, just information that didn't need to be said. Obviously, you weren't live streaming in 2008. I don't think that anybody was fucking live streaming in 2008. If I'm being frank with you, shout out Frank, of course.
Literally be
just doesn't need to be said.
Of release day gameplay that I would then upload to DSP Gaming. Okay? Back in the day, I would have beaten Resident Evil Requiem within 2 days. Seriously, because I would have played at least 8 hours the first day. The second day, I would have been up early playing late all day long. I probably would have completed this within 2, maybe 3 days tops. And the entire playthrough would have been online already. Okay? However, my playthrough would have been rushed. What do I mean by that?
What do I mean by that? What do I mean that my playthrough would have been rushed, guys? I mean, I feel like based off of the context clues of how this story started and where we're at now, we don't need the explanation, but you're going to fucking get it anyway against your will. Sound good? Sounds good to me. Thank you, Jordan Fadeaway, for the 5, saying, Atlas, did you see that someone is making a Karen game on Steam? Wonder how it'll be before how long it'll be before somebody makes a DSP mod for it. My bigger question would be how long before DSP gets recommended it and we play it on stream. Like that's one of those chill one-off style games that maybe we could play for an hour and a half on a random stream when we have time or something. And the concept is just I don't know a kind way to put it. It's just strange enough for DSP to be interested in it and try and make like a stupid gaff out of it. I think that's what I'm wondering. But a DSP mod is a good idea too. Thank you, Jordan Fadeaway, for the 5.
No, I would not have played as Grace for so long that I killed the 2 singers and figured out a way to kill the giant mutated blob man and also killed the butcher and also upgraded her gun all the way. I wouldn't have done any of that. Back in the day, my mentality was rush through the game. Beat it as quickly as humanly possible because people just want to see the ending right away. And you know what? That was the truth back then, is that there wasn't a system by which everyone was getting these copies early. People were playing the game several days early and were finishing the game before you even had a chance to touch it. That's how it used to be. Like everyone would get the game on the same day and would play it and be a big dash, mad dash to finish the game and get your playthrough up before everybody else. That was part of my workflow and schedule. Was
part of my workflow was hanging out at midnight so that I could get these games and be the first one with no life to play through the whole game in the shittiest way possible. That was my workflow, bro. Brill Brasky asking if I seen the dev for Saint Slayer made an easy mode with DSP as the password to access it. Yes, I did, and there it is on screen once again. I opened with it. So there you go.
To beat it quickly, okay? Today doesn't matter anymore. Why? People already got the game a week early. They already got a playthrough up on the internet. The ending spoiled. Everyone spoiled the plot of this game a week early. It was all over everywhere. So what's the rush? And in fact, what ended up happening was after many years of me doing content like that.
What's the rush? But he played it, what, 5 fucking days in a row to try and beat it as fast as he humanly possibly could? Like, keep in mind, the game it was only supposed to be 8 to 10 hours for a normal person. DSP in this clip is 14 hours in and still has at least 2 days worth of gameplay left. That's actually how fast he's capable of beating video games. And it's for reasons like you just saw in the previous clip, where he's incapable of just making the correct decisions and being observant. So he has to repeat sections of the game.
It was about 3-4 years, okay? People started to push back against me, okay? And basically people said, listen, you don't do enough when you play a game. How can you actively and effectively review a game and say what its pros and cons are, what the best parts and worst parts are, when you're not seeing half the game? You literally skip almost all of the side content of most games that you play because you just rush through them to get to the end. And you know what? That's truthful. Even back in the day, games like Fallout, I really would just rush through, and then I would have, like, after I beat the game, I'd say return to Fallout 3, return to New Vegas to do the content that I skipped during my first run. That's actually what my mentality was. For the record, it was very, very successful. It worked. But after, like I said, about 3-4 years, a lot of people basically started criticizing me, saying, you know, DSP just isn't really the best Let's Player because he doesn't do enough. He
true, real, honest statement.
Rushes through, and because of that, it's just not quality content. And I didn't like that because I was of the impression that I was putting out stuff that was going to have posterity. And what I mean is, a playthrough that I did back then, you could watch it when it was new. You could watch it in a week, in a month, in a year, in 10 years, and it would still be just as meaningful and entertaining because of the way that I did my content. Honest, truthful, no kissing butt, no being overly critical.
Slurs intact, sexual innuendos for children, all present. Those are the prosperity style playthroughs that we were putting on back in the day, right? Those are the ones that we're so proud of right now. The ones that we would absolutely denounce if presented with them, as we've seen when he did DSP reacts to his own bullshit. Like that's what we're propping up right now.
Get clickbait. I wanted people to judge a game experience as a honest, raw, truthful thing when I started playing a game. But I also wanted people to think that it was trustworthy as a representation of how good that game is or how bad that game is or somewhere in between. And if people were telling me, hey, you're skipping too much, you're rushing through, this isn't representative of what the game really is because you skipped half the side content of this game, then I said, I got to change. And I did. Like, I actively changed for the better. I started making longer playthroughs. I started doing content at length rather than rushing through. Now, going hand in
at length is doing a lot of heavy lifting there. The equivalent of a cat-sized load in that sentence. You know,
hand with that
lengthy is, I think, underselling it, truth be told.
Later on, I became a live streamer, right?
They are just never-ending
and the
sometimes,
challenge of being a
depending
live
on the
streamer,
playthrough.
But also putting out lengthy, detailed playthroughs is time, okay? When I was just doing the on-demand videos, and it was only about putting out on-demand videos, I could literally wake up whenever I want, record whenever I want, upload whenever I want, and I could go as long as I wanted. This is back when I was a bachelor, okay? I was in my, my late 20s, early 30s. I had nothing else going on for me besides...
He was a real gamer before women entered the picture. And this just goes to show you, women ruin gaming, guys, and there's nothing that I can do. I mean, we lost one of our greatest soldiers, DSP Space Gaming, to the woman-married virus. And now we get playthroughs that are never fucking ending.
Hey,
and we can't do them all the time.
So I had
it's bullshit.
Massive flexibility in my schedule to
my
put out
bad
as
to all
much
the
content
women,
as I wanted whenever I
by the
wanted.
way.
When I became a live streamer,
all two
and
of you
then
in the
when I
Atlas chat, big
basically
ups.
became a family man and got married, my life has changed completely. Now I have to adhere to a schedule because I have to be here on a live stream, and people need to know when to be here to see the content live so they can watch it, engage, and support it. That changed the whole game. It made me essentially change up the way that I did content and started doing blocks of scheduling. You know, today This game is the first block. This other game is the late block. Do variety.
The late
Bring
block.
a variety of people to the streams, right? That's why I'm still successful after 18 years, is because I'm not just known as a guy who plays one kind of game or a guy who rushes through all of the game, right? Instead,
I like that you just can still see, like, he just muted his mic to snort. I shouldn't be able to physically tell that you're making hog noises over there.
is because I'm
It
not just
shouldn't
known
be
as a guy
that
who plays one
physically
kind of game
demanding.
or a guy who
Look at
rushes
this shit.
through all of the game, right? Instead,
Like, actually shaking his head up and down as the snort reverberates through his skull. Jesus fucking Christ, bro.
I do lengthy playthroughs, but I have a variety of content and I schedule it all out, so it takes me a while to get through games. You know, a game like Resident Evil 9 can be beaten in 8 to 9 hours if you don't read any documents. You basically don't pay attention to cutscenes or you skip them. You know how to solve all the puzzles already. You're just rushing through, just doing bare minimum combat to get through. You're not searching. You're not solving the optional puzzles. You're not looking at optional areas. You're just doing the bare minimum. You could beat it in like 9 to 10 hours. That's true.
Yes, that's true.
But could you then say that the game was truly explored and played? Or can you just say you're right?
Yes. Yes, you can. That's the end of the conversation then, right? This person beat the game and didn't do all of these side optional content. Did they play the game? Yes. All right, we're done here.
Rush through it, right? Now, I'm not saying that that's what every single content creator did, but I'm saying that's probably
The
why content creators
vast majority of people will never play all of the optional content in a video game. That's just the way that it was meant to be, and that's fine.
can beat the game in 2 to 3 days, when for me, that's not the case. I'm someone who has a work-life balance. I'm someone who balances multiple games against each other. You know, one day I played Resident Evil 9 all day. That was Friday.
Saying you have a work-life balance is absurd when he plays video games as much as he does for a fucking living. That wild to say that you have a work-life balance when he streams for as many hours as he does in a day.
Release day. Since then, I'm only playing it one stream, and then the night
But
stream every day has been-
he has no friends, no places to be, no expectations other than hitting go live every single day. No family to visit, no responsibilities to his community, nor anybody that he knows, because he doesn't know anybody. But he's got a work-life balance. Well, when your life is 10% of your life, I fucking guess
something different so that I have variety. Because the truth is, not everyone who watches DSP Gaming likes Resident Evil. There's people who are here for RimWorld, people who are here for indie games, people who want variety. And if I'm not giving it to you, those people are going to leave, and they're only going to be here for the stuff they want, and that's going to be rare, right? Because it's Resident Evil week. Don't come back unless you want Resident Evil.
That's how I felt.
So that's the thing. I'm just definitely doing it very different from what most people do, all right? And the other thing is, some people are saying, well, other content creators will stream 8 to 10 hours straight. Yeah, and that's bad. Don't you understand that that's bad? That that's not good? That you're not, first of all, you're not supposed to be working 10 hours straight regardless at any job.
What the fuck is he talking about? And this just goes to show you, this just continues to prove the point, that DSP is incapable of working real-life jobs if he genuinely thinks that people... And this is not in defense of working 10-hour days. Look, 10-hour days can fucking suck. I've worked many of them. I even worked 410s at one point. It was fine. But he just can't even fathom the idea of working 10 hours straight in one day and then just being done. As if there isn't entire industries in this country that work off of 10-hour, even 12-hour fucking days, dude. He couldn't make it.
People would consider that bad. It's supposed to be an 8-hour shift. That would be overtime. And you're, supposed to be compensated for the fact that you're overworking yourself. If you're a creator...
Overworking yourself after 10 hours. I mean, it depends on what you're doing. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. There's people that actually work double shifts, 16 hours straight they'll work, which when I did Snow not that long ago, we did actually have to do a 16-hour day. Insanity.
And you're doing 8 to 10 hour streams.
But DSP can't do a 10-hour stream.
Is not good.
Huh?
You're burnt out. You cannot sit here for 10 hours as a human and put out good content for 10 hours. It's just not possible, okay? Now, I'm not saying that there aren't younger people who probably would do it better than me, but I'm saying it's just not how you're supposed to do it. You have to do it in blocks, so you're refreshed or whatever. You're taking breaks and whatever, If I just sat here and I played a game for 8 to 10 hours straight, the second half of the stream would be garbage. I'd be upset. I'd be complaining constantly. I'd be playing like shit.
Just a poor man's mentality, if you ask me.
That's not how you put out good
Incapable
content
of getting
whatsoever.
anything done at
In
this
fact, I
rate.
would argue that
I have to take breaks regularly so I don't gas myself out. Like, DSP is the exact type of employee or coworker that you would fucking detest being put together with. Always wanting to stop the goddamn job just so that he can take his little fucking 10-minute smoke break or his water break or whatever. Meanwhile, everybody's still, like, engaged in the work because they just want to get it done and over with. Buddy, we're not getting shit done like this.
in most cases, you probably only want to play a video game for 3 to 4 hours tops, because then you're kind of tapped out. You need to step away from it. So that way you don't become like tunnel vision, hyper-focused on the game, and now you play like shit. That's always been the case for me too. Even back in the day. Well, again, when I used to record the videos offline and not stream, in the middle of the day, I would literally walk away and take breaks for like an hour or more to refresh myself before I came back to continue on with the big marathon recording that I would do on release day. I couldn't just sit there and record for 10 hours straight. That's ridiculous, you know? So I get what you people are saying. That
I
people,
guess,
other
brother. Yeah, it's usually called a lunch break. I mean, I don't know why we're acting as though this is some sort of new concept that people who work 10 hours a day don't also do. Oh, sure, man.
people stream 8 to 10 hours. Yeah, and that's bad. That's why when you watch their playthroughs, they didn't do all the content. That's why when you watch their playthroughs, they get burnt out. That's why, you know.
I've never seen another Let's Player, though, say that they were burnt out on a game because they were playing it for 10 hours a day or 12 hours a day or whatever during release week to get to the end of the game and beat it to their satisfaction. I've never heard anybody say these things except for DSP. He's the only one that has these complaints.
Those people who are big streamers who beat the game in 2-3 days, they're big streamers. They didn't have to fucking play the game. Get it? They could have shat on a toilet for 2 days and would have got the same viewership and the same attendance. When you're actually trying to make a quality product for an audience that's going to have, again, posterity, that people will check it out today, tomorrow, in a year, in a month, because it's a valid playthrough, you have to do it right. You can't just rush through. You can't play it all in one sitting. That's fucking retarded. And the fact that people are brainwashed to think that today is exactly the same as back in the day. When
The people are brainwashed that they expect to see somebody enjoying the game to such an extent that they don't drag it out for an entire week. God, heaven forbid that people want to experience the game with their personality of choice and then move on with their life and not have it fucking drug out. Oh, no.
Again, everyone told me, you have to do it this way, you have to do it that way. I was like, but I'm different.
Roachmate saying he plays Project Zomboid at 12 hours at a time. Yeah, and I feel like that's not that absurd. Like, if you have a free day where you're not working, you don't have any responsibilities to your family or any errands to run or chores to do or whatever, and you've set aside this time, playing for 10, 12, 14 hours of fucking RimWorld or Project Zomboid or anything like that, even if you're playing Crusader Kings or something that is of the autism slop variety, you're going to lose that amount of time with no effort. But DSP is acting as though it's some unachievable task that only the most no life of no lives enjoy. Only retarded people play video games like this.
My content's different. That's
PoE League start 14 hours straight. Well, you fucking basically have to. I hate a league. I really do. I'm still playing, but I hate
why
it.
I'm relevant, because I don't just chase trends. I don't do it how everyone else does it. And it pisses me off that people in 18 years later don't fucking get it, that I do things differently and it works, or I wouldn't be here. Okay? So, that's my mentality. Today, I'm reapplying myself. I want to play Resident Evil. I'm dying to get into it. I've been craving it because it looks like
craving it. Everything is always a crave to DSP. We can't ever just, want to get back to it. We can't just be enjoying it, so we want to play it. We have to crave it. It has to be some sort of addiction-style vocabulary.
To probably finish up the area that we're in with Leon, and we're going to go right into Raccoon City, and hopefully this is going to, get more exciting to get to the original parts of the second game. I'm excited for that. But attendance falls off. Support falls off. Listen, there's nothing I can do about that. Unless you want me to become a crap streamer who literally sits here for 8 to 10 hours a day pumping out schlock, that's garbage. All right? You're never going to get me rushing through a game and beating it in 2 days. That wouldn't even...
Except for all of the times that he used to. I guess he'll never get it again, but...
It would be worth, I feel, my time or your time. That would be a waste of everyone's fucking time to do that. Sorry, I don't believe that that's the way to do it. Back in the day, when there was a big mad dash to finish a game and be the first person to get the ending on the internet, yeah, that was a different mentality. That was also 15 years ago. Things change. But everyone just copies each other and trend chases and tries to do the same shit, and it's pathetic. I don't know why people just think that's the way to do it, because that's how everyone else does, so you're a peasant. You fucking just follow what you're told. Oh, this is it. This, mindless. Mindless shit.
So if you designed your business in such a way that you have a constant, ebb and flow of video games coming in and out, and you beat them in a reasonable amount of time, and you play them while they're fresh and the audience is still interested in them, if that's how you've set up your ebb and flow of your business, you're basically an idiot peasant McDumbass, because you're following the crowd, I guess, if you're interested in modern things. But yeah, DSP's eating fucking McDonald's slop. You're right.
I am going to continue to play games at my pace so that I can put out good quality product that I can stand behind, And even yesterday, by the time that we were done with the 3.5 hours I was playing, I was exhausted. You saw I was making silly mistakes like, oh, here's a new mechanic where we're standing on glass, and I keep breaking the glass. Like, that's time to step away. I can tell I'm burnt out for this session. I need to step away. I'll come back tomorrow refreshed. I'll do this properly rather than stand here for the next 10 minutes and fail miserably over and over and then rage because I'm tired, right?
I can't even imagine wanting to put down a game after only 3.5 hours because I'm making dumb mistakes. Like, my brain is so addled, as DSP would say, that I'm actively flubbing up my actions because of the 3.5 hours of gameplay. That's a crazy turnaround time for burnout. If you can't do something for 3 hours straight, again, you're just not cut out to do basically anything in real life.
I just feel like so many people on the internet today they're just brainless. They don't think. They just follow. They don't actually seek out content that's meaningful. They just trend chase or watch what's popular because it's popular. And then if someone...
That's why I watch DSP, because he's popular,
does
obviously.
Something differently, all you want to do is sit there and say you're doing it wrong. Well, no. Doing it differently doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. There is an audience. Or else, guess what? I wouldn't be here. This wouldn't be my highest viewed playthrough in years if I wasn't doing something right. But the problem is everyone...
That's not a flex, though. The idea that Resident Evil 9 in a playthrough that people are actively bitching about, and that's why we're coping. The idea that this is our best playthrough in fucking years is not a flex. You're not catching a dub on this. That's actually kind of sad and embarrassing and pathetic to say out loud, if you ask me.
Expects you to be like the new trend. Well, I'm not, and I literally never have been. I'm not going to change myself to be the new trendsetter. Oh, look, I'm playing the game just like this guy did, just like this guy did. I don't give a fuck how they played it. I'm going to play it in a way that I feel I'm putting out something that's worth everyone's time, so you're not wasting your time sitting here seeing me fuck around in the game and just rush through it and skip everything. That's stupid. Okay? At the same time, I'm also not going to platinum the game. You know what I'm saying? I'm not...
Well, how can you say that you actually played the game if you didn't experience all of the difficulties and all of the secrets in the game, DSP? What the fuck? It's almost like there's a weird arbitrary line that's drawn in the sand exclusively by DSP. Weird how that's always the case, huh?
I'm not going to sit here and platinum it because that's probably going to be a waste of everyone's time. There's probably little nuanced things that you need to do that I don't even know how to do, and I don't really care about that, all right? But I want to do stuff that's worth everyone's time, okay? And I hope you understand that. I want to be, when you're on my stream, you're not wasting your time. You're having a good time with something that's meaningful. And again, a playthrough you can watch whenever you want, okay? So today we continue on. I hope...
We don't want to waste people's time. That's why we do the DSP Morning Show, an hour-long segment where we have nothing to talk about whatsoever. We're simply wasting time until people show up so that we can play the game with our acceptable amount of viewership. That is all that time is. It is a glorified pre-stream, almost in the same way the podcast is, except we have less to talk about. But we don't want to waste people's times, guys. We're obviously very respectful about everyone else's time.
That you're here for the right reasons, okay? I want to have a great time here today with all of you with Resident Evil, but I hope you understand where I'm coming from. Oh, so-and-so beat the game in 2 streams. Yeah, and each stream was 12 hours fucking long, and they rushed through, and they played like shit. Who gives a fuck about their playthrough? It's brainless shit. It's garbage. Why are you watching it? Duh, because they're popular. So you're stupid. I mean, sorry. I would like to think that people who watch my content have at least a few IQ points in their heads.
Wrong.
Why else would you be here? Because you chose to have to be here instead of watching the guy who has 20 times my viewership, but is a mouth-doing idiot and just yells slurs and fucking acts like a cartoon character, right? It's a little different, the content here. And it's not for everyone. Admittedly, it's not going to be for everyone, but that's okay. I just hope that people get it, and they're here for the right reasons, you know? We were having a great time when this game came out on
Phil, name one normal fan is actually like is a great thing to ask him. Just like somebody was asked, wanted to hear him answer how much protein is like a reasonable or a good amount of protein in a day because he couldn't give you an answer. He can't find you a genuine normal style fan.
Friday and then on Sunday. But now here we are.
They're all
This is what, day 5 of me playing it? Because the game is long. The game actually does have content, but the problem is the internet reports it as an 8-hour game because the internet is stupid as fuck. The internet didn't play the game, didn't take their time with the game, or even enjoy it. They rushed through it like dunces. The game is actually probably around 20 plus hours long if you take your time with it, which you're supposed to.
If you take your time means fucking up constantly and always reading your chat and interacting with them and changing the leaderboard constantly and wasting time doing that. That's what DSP means by if you take your time. Nobody else has to do any of those things. Therefore, they have a more reasonable gameplay time. It's not a complicated like equation whatsoever. It's very clear to see when DSP is wasting a fuck ton of time in a video game and how nobody else does it that way.
That's the point of a video game, to immerse yourself in the world and the experience, to look at the lore, to see what content's in it. Not to say, I beat it in 5 hours because I rushed like moron. Ooga booga, oh, my armpit itches. Ooh, look, I gotta cook dinner. Let me clack these 2 rocks together to start the fucking fire. What are you doing?
And I've said this once before, and I'll say it again. I really would like to see DSP try and start any fire without a fire-making device, because I think he would be not impressed, but surprised at how incapable he is of actually doing that.
All right. Stan, you're an idiot who doesn't play the game. He goes, oh, the game's not open world. You can beat it. It's linear. Wrong. You're outright wrong. The game has an open world structure. When you play with Grace, you can do things in different orders in the I say mansion because it is really like a mansion. In the care center, it's not linear whatsoever. You actually have choice to do things and explore optional areas and kill zombies that you don't necessarily have to, but you get rewarded for it.
That's not an open world. None of that makes the game an open world. If that, and this is why I take a huge umbrage with the way that we as an industry in the gaming industry, or we as human beings use genres to describe things. How big is an MMO? To be an MMO is a great one. This is another example. How open of a world does it have to be in order to be an open world? Because I would not call it that. But apparently dumb shits like DSP do, and that's why none of this means anything. What role do you have to play for it to be an RPG? Because you could just make every single-player game an RPG as you play the role of that character. It has nothing to do with stats if you want.
With Leon, again, it's actually open world.
I'm sick of it.
Optional areas.
Me and my roommate, when I lived in an apartment, used to get into that conversation all of the time, and when we would just inevitably start screaming and just disagreeing very vehemently.
You can completely skip, or you can investigate and get optional content, but a lot of additional combat and the like. You don't know what you're talking about. You're an idiot. And
it's because he didn't know what he was talking about, and he was an idiot.
So I hope that you guys
if you
have
ever see
enjoyed
this, fuck you.
Zombie and biohazard animations for Resident Evil the last couple of weeks. This is actually, we're heading a week and a half into it. Once we complete Resident Evil Requiem, I'm going to remove those and replace them with classic
new
gaming
animations,
most of which I've already used before.
Hell yeah.
But I want to get like Sonic, Mario, Chun-Li, Castlevania, Mega Man, Mario.
All the normie classics,
I want to get those into the rotation because it's a retro marathon on Friday.
Some real level 1 gaming characters right there.
So I want to have those for like Friday and maybe some part of next week, and then probably around the middle of the month I'm going to update for like St. Patrick's Day and spring. Okay, so this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make the channel always feel fresh rather than have the same animation stuck for like a month or two. I want to try to mix them up and rotate them around and make it feel more interesting. So enjoy the zombie animations today and tomorrow we're probably beating the game. And then after that, we're on to retro stuff, okay? So there you have it. If you want to see those animations, contribute today and tomorrow because they're going away.
Now, yesterday he did do the retro style marathon, and while I didn't watch any of the gameplay whatsoever, it was a remarkably low supported stream. He made $300, I believe, which is the equivalent of 2 good streams, which is the amount of time that he played for yesterday anyway, and I don't think Kick really held up their end of the bargain. It was basically a disaster stream, if you ask me.
Friday. All right. Volan says, I like your immersive approach to video games. I'm sure most other viewers feel the same. Don't worry about the naysayers. Yeah, what you will find, I feel, you can disagree, is that people who actually are fans of my style, they're immersed and they want to watch the whole playthrough and they watch it at their own pace, but they will get through it and then they come by and they'll hang out and support when they can. Again,
right.
That's why someone like...
And that's so prevalent and prominent on the DSP Space Gaming channel that we have to do constant calls to action very frequently in the fucking gameplay, and then we also do absolute dick for numbers in the on the videos on demand, because there's totally tons of people that are watching it on their own time at their own pace, and they're really enjoying the playthroughs, guys.
Like me, who gets a few hundred viewers a stream, maybe 1,000 or more views on a video on demand, can still make a good living. Much better than most people of my size and stature, that's for sure. Because people appreciate that I've been around for 18 years. I've honed my craft, and I got to the point where I'm doing the content that I feel is meaningful, rather than just doing it for the buck like I used to be honest.
This is honed, guys. This is peak performance. You might not like it, but this is what peak streaming actually fucking looks like.
Honest, rushing through those games and pumping out those playthroughs extra fast or whatever. Didn't really care about the content I was putting out. Today I do. Today I want to be putting out good content. You understand? Eddie Chill, who gives two fucks? No, really, why would you even type that in my chat? Who gives two fucks about documentaries? No one gives a shit. I don't care about any moron making a fucking documentary about me. I don't give a shit. Let them do what they want, say what they want. I'm sure it's not actually going to cover good things. It's only going to focus on bad. It's going to rehash the same fucking territory. Nobody fucking cares. Okay.
All right.
Jaron Church, the $5 super chat. He says, I'm tired of the playthrough. Hope this is the last day and we'll get Street Fighter tomorrow. I like you, but I can't watch this anymore. Now here's the truth, right? Listen to Darren. I'm playing this game as much as I can to beat it as fast as I can, so it's not a drawn-out playthrough, and people are tired of it already. Do you
see? So everything that we just said about how other people rushing through the game is nonsense, it's bullshit, they're bad content creators, da-da-da-da-da. Immediately, as soon as somebody says you're taking too long, DSP said, well, I'm trying to play it as fast as I possibly can. So, like, he is trying to go as fast as possible. He is trying to beat it. He's just not good enough to do it in a reasonable amount of time. So we have to cope and seethe every which way.
See, but what's happened is very simple. People are used to variety on this channel. 100%. People now, they're so used to it. Phil plays a different game every stream. He doesn't play too much of one game. So the mentality is when I play a lot of one game, people can't stomach it. I get it. That's why I do the variety I do. But that's also why it takes me so much longer to beat games, because I'm balancing and people like that variety structure. So the way I
thought the reason it took so long is because we were experiencing the game. Now it's all about the balance and how often we're playing it, you guys.
Doing it is like this. Today,
it's literally every excuse we can come up with.
See how far we can get. Tonight, it's RimWorld returning, and it's going to be a very stressful RimWorld stream. We're in a situation where we have to fight a bunch of robots, and we're not really well equipped to fight them. I'm not feeling too good about tonight's late stream. I think people are going to die. Let's put it that way, okay? Tomorrow, yes, the daytime stream, again, will be Resident Evil Requiem, but I actually want to do a podcast because it's the second podcast of the week, and I wanted to summarize all of my thoughts about the game in one place, and that's the place to do it. And then we're going to see if we can beat it. If we do not beat Requiem tomorrow, all right, then we are going to finish it tomorrow night. So understand that if we don't beat it on the day stream tomorrow, I want to finish the game tomorrow. I don't want this to be a lingering playthrough that continues into next week. I want it done so that way people can see the ending and we can move on. All right? So tomorrow we're beating it one way or another. If we do complete it on the first stream, then it's going to be Street Fighter on the late stream. Who am I using? I don't know, but not Sagat. I don't remember how.
And it sounds like he's having such a fun time with the game as well. The way that he's describing it, I want to beat it. We have to get it out of the way. And we're like planning the entire schedule around when we're going to beat it. And people are sending money saying they're tired of hearing it or tired of seeing the game. And we're coping and seething about how long it's taking us and coming up with a million excuses. Like, it's very clear we love this game, obviously. We're having so much fun, and people should tune in to check it out, obviously.
I fucking use them. So we're probably just going to pick any random character, maybe Dalsum or something, and we'll just play, and we'll have a time with Street Fighter tomorrow night, okay? And then the Retrothon is Friday. So then people can stop complaining that they want another game because it will be done with this one. Someone tipped $1 and says, I am seeing an alarming trend that bigger streamers basically get games, rush through them, and then kind of toss them out and play other stuff right away. And what do you think about that? I've already explained.
I already
listen,
explained.
that,
I have
but
been
that's not the
explaining
kind of
this over the
content that I
past
put out,
fucking 8
okay?
years.
There's a difference between I'm a streamer that's just there to entertain my audience in the now, do whatever's hot, and move right on to the next, or someone who's trying to actually make legacy content that you will watch after the fact because it has posterity and meaning. That's what I'm doing. I'm not just here to entertain just the live audience. I'm here to make content also for an on-demand audience who will watch after the fact.
Yeah, all those guys that make This Is How You Don't plays. That's the true audience that you guys aren't taking into consideration during the gameplay. Clearly, they're going to need good quality content to work with so that they can do what they do.
So I have to do things differently. I don't just have an archive stream.
It's genuinely the only audience I can see enjoying VODs is This Is How You Don't play makers.
The parts that are the playthrough, the parts that are the morning show, the parts that are the podcast, the parts that are the daily wrap, and I edit them out. I title them, I put them in playlists, I put thumbnails, I put the extra work in so that people will actually watch after the fact on demand. And I do have good on-demand viewership. I still bring in about 500,000 views a month on the DSP Gaming channel, and that's with the decline in viewership on streams because people are watching on Kick. I want you to think about that. Since I started co-streaming on Kick, I've seen no decline in views on YouTube. You would think, well, you should, because now your streams are split. No. So in reality, since I started streaming on Kick, I've actually increased my total viewership every month because all those views I get on Kick are actually additional views to what I usually would get.
Is DSP not like at an all-time low for views? I mean, he's talking about not dropping in viewership on YouTube, despite having like 80 people on Kick or whatever. But 229 over here in the corner, you can barely see. Watching the pre-stream, I swear we used to be up at 300. We used to genuinely have 300 people exclusively on YouTube, 310, 320 sometimes, watching the pre-stream, and then it would dip down to like 260 for gameplay. We're at 230 for the pre-stream. I couldn't even imagine what the gameplay was actually looking like. So all this talk about we haven't lost any of our attendance, the same amount of views is just bullshit. There's no fucking way, dude. I was there. I remember looking at the view count.
And I do get residual ad revenue on all of the videos that I put on YouTube, which is a focus of mine. I want people to watch the content after the fact. Right now,
Maddie confirming that February was his 3rd lowest month for views of all time. Oh, that's according to ALT. So yeah, actually just lying out our ass here. How cool.
I'm getting far more revenue on the back end for Resident Evil. Like, I'm actually getting a lot of revenue on the back end because the videos are all getting thousands of views. And this will continue for a couple of weeks. Like, that playthrough will probably get decent viewership for about 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay.
So by the time's all said and done, this playthrough will be very profitable for me. Even if the viewership falls off at the end, it's still fine. It's going to do well. And I'm happy for that people watch it after the fact. It's a different product than, oh, yo, hi, everyone. I'm here to entertain the audience. Let's act weird. Let's scream. Let's do backflips. Let's fucking drink this energy drink. Let's bounce off the wall. Oh, let's play Resident Evil. Oh, let's play Resident Evil. Oh, we're playing Resident Evil now. Oh, we're getting through Resident Evil. Oh, look, we killed all these. Oh, Resident. Oh, what's next? Oh, let's react. Let's react to some news. Oh, let's news. Oh, what's next? Oh my God, I can't even believe it. This guy just said something about me. Let's see what he said. Oh, look, let's react to that. Let's do it. Oh, let's play Resident Evil. Let's Resident Evil.
Well, you can make anything sound like that if you really would like to. I mean, it's kind of like, you know, simplifying any game until it sounds like a terrible concept. You could do that with anything. But at least if they were behaving at that rate and that erratic, there's content there. They're doing something. They're getting to the point and not wasting your time, which DSP claims, you know, he's big on. He doesn't want to waste anybody's time.
That's not me. Okay,
but DSP doesn't have the energy for that. He's too old to be moving that quickly. The djinn has eaten holes in his brain, and the fog has not cleared. He cannot think that quickly.
Streamers, they're crazy, and they're just there in the moment to act a fool and try to entertain it on. Their eyes are always like this as they move around. Whatever.
Heaven forbid people leave their eyes open when they look around on stream. God forbid. Everyone's supposed to be literally falling asleep like the guy.
I've always been myself. I'm not a cartoon character. I'm not acting. The one time I would say I ever acted was...
Also, yeah, that is him with the corner demons. Literally doing it right now. What the fuck? It's just every other fucking pause is him doing that exact shit. You guys are absolutely right.
Back in the day, the commentary when I was playing a game, I would always try to say something risque to get a rise out of the audience. But outside of that, I've been a legit person myself for a long time now, over a decade, being the real me on the internet and making the content that I want to make and being successful at it. And I'm happy for that. So thank you for that, for supporting it, watching it, you know, really.
Yeah, he's his true, authentic
What?
self, except when he's playing a character and hamming it up for Street Fighter, or when he's fake crashing out to troll the trolls or whatever and feed them content. That, except for all of those times he was acting in the modern day, he's not an actor, folks, not a character.
Now, listen to this retarded statement. You don't sound jealous at all. Crying. Who the fuck is jealous? I don't want to be like that. At all. I have no desire to be a fake cartoon character bouncing off the fucking walls to satisfy an audience of young people who have ADD. I don't give two shits. That audience means nothing. I want to put out content that's meaningful for people who have fucking brains, who are, you know, have an IQ above 50, and who actually want to see something meaningful. When you watch my Resident
Yo, IQ above 50. I think that's a stretch for DSP fans. I think that's a stretch. I guess
Evil
never
9
mind. I'll let it go.
I
I'll
want you to
drop it.
laugh.
I'll let it go.
I want you to cry.
We won't go there. It's fine.
I do. I want you to cry at the parts that I suck at. But at the end of the day, when I beat the game, I want you to have gotten a good representation of what the game is, so you can judge for yourself if that's a good game, bad game, or somewhere in between. All right? That's my goal. Not, oh, I got a 5 minutes, I laughed at the stream, and I fucking, you know. No, that's not what it's about for me. Captain Psycho says, I watch your stuff on demand most of the time. I'm usually working when you're streaming. And I know that. Listen, my longevity speaks volumes. Right? It does. The fact that I'm still here and I'm still relevant and I have an audience that watches me every day live, but I also have an audience that watches this stuff on demand and equally they enjoy the content. That means something to me. That's why
It's
I go that
meaningful
extra
to
mile
me, you
curate
guys.
that content to make sure that it is watchable and easily followable on the channel because of the thumbnails, the titles, the playlists, and everything that I put the extra work into instead of just saying, oh, I finished my stream for today and I made a few bucks doing the stream, so I just throw the archive stream up with absolutely no effort and then I'm done for the day. I don't do that.
It's so weird to me that so many people, so many content creators have gone the route of just throwing up their stream archive with a thumbnail or whatever, and it is what it is, and people watch it and they're successful. I mean, that's fine, that's whatever, that's not weird. But the weird part is that DSP will die on this hill that the only reason, or one of the only many reasons that he is successful, you know how his narrative is because he's so organized and he's so well put together when it comes to how things are displayed on his channel, that people really appreciate that. But if people are successful without doing that, then it almost would seem as though that's not really that important at the end of the day, and that there are other laurels and aspects that you could rely on to make money and ensure your business continues. But for DSP, it's organization over everything, if you listen to the way he talks.
But that's because they don't ask gamers about anything. Here's who they ask: the journalists. And
Also,
the
yeah,
influencer.
followable when he's actively still uploading content out of order. Like his part 11 of Resident Evil 9 came immediately after part 9, which came after part 10. And part 11 has the most views. Like, what are we fucking talking about? It's followable. It's all organized. It's a mess. It's actually just shoveled shit.
They're not gamers, okay? Those two groups are not gamers. They're not. They benefit from games. They exploit games for profits, but they're not gamers. You actually have
Oh, we're talking about journalists and
to ask
developers?
real gamers what they want. Then you.
Oh, influencers. Sorry, journalists and influencers. Those are the people that aren't real gamers, like the guy, of course.
Will make good products, but they don't do that. They ask the wrong fucking people. Why? Because they're money chasing.
Why?
They only care about making the almighty dollar. They don't care about putting out a meaningful product that has longevity, that has, cultural relevance. They don't care about any of that. They just, how do I make the most profit? Well, it's not working anymore. You're chasing trends. You're trying to do copycat, content. No one cares. No one's going to buy that content anymore. Marathon very likely is the next.
Copycat content, but DSP was 10 years late to doing React content. He railed on it for years, said it was the easiest thing ever to do, finally showed up to the game late as fuck, and then did it the worst that anybody's ever seen it. And then you guys are doing copycat content. What the fuck?
To fail, and that comes out tomorrow. Likely that's the next to fail. Because again, it's just trend chasing. It's literally a game that doesn't have to exist.
Trend
and doesn't really
chasing.
innovate.
DS politics.
Caterate, thank you for $2.
Well,
Said,
I
wish
guess
you
he
could get sponsored.
wasn't
You deserve
trend
it.
chasing with DS politics because he waited till the election was over. So I guess I got to give him, some sort of big ups for that.
Caterade, I'll just say this. I'm happy that I'm not sponsored, because if I was sponsored, number one, I probably would have to change myself. And what I mean by that is the people who get those sponsorships aren't really honest. Okay? And you might say, well, are you shit talking all people with sponsors? No. But I want you to think about this, okay? The moment that someone gets a sponsorship and then actually is honest about the product that they're sponsored by, they lose the sponsorship or they're going to lose future opportunities. So even if they are, I want you to think about the temptation of taking a sponsorship and not being positive, right? Like, you're always going to want to be positive about something you're sponsored by because that means future opportunities with more sponsorships. The more positive you are when you have sponsors, the more money you make. The more favored you are, the more things you get early. It's too dangerous. It's too tempting. It's not.
DSP apparently doesn't understand that some people can surpass temptation. Having any sort of, self-control is outside of the purview of one DSP, one Philip Paul Burnell, PP Burnell, they call him for short. A foreign concept, some sort of self-control, a little bit of honesty and self-respect, and not chilling out for products, but still being able to take a sponsorship beyond his brain. Couldn't even fathom
A situation I would want to be put into because then I couldn't be honest and transparent with all of you. If I were sponsored by Capcom playing Resident Evil
comprehend
Requiem,
not being
I probably
corrupt.
wouldn't be criticizing the game at all. You wouldn't know that I don't like the pacing and that I would have preferred to have alternation between Grace and Leon. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't know that there's certain things that I didn't like that I was critical of. I wouldn't even mention it. I just play the game with a smile on my face like this and then finish it and then on to the next and bring in the money. That's what sponsorships entail. I don't want to be like that. Even if you're not
But that's not what they have to entail. It just says more about DSP that he thinks this is the only way that it can be. Everybody else will suffer from the temptation and will give in inevitably, and they will sell their morals down the sea for a couple of shekels.
contractually obligated to say positive things, you're going to be tempted to anyway. Or you're going to be tempted to hold back on your criticisms so that you can continue to be in the good graces of these companies who are sponsoring you. I don't want to be in that position ever. I don't. I had opportunity to do it back in the day. As soon as I got big on YouTube, I started getting opportunities. People were offering me things.
And he took
PR
them.
companies were reaching out. Hey,
And
we
he took
want to
them.
sign you up and do this and do that. And I ignored them all. I just wanted to do it for myself so I can make honest content. And here I am. 18 years
You
later.
guys remember the sumo beanbagger or whatever the fuck? You remember all those loot crates that we shilled? Do you remember the gamer snacks we were eating and shilling? I remember.
Still doing it. I may be for a very small audience, but I'm still doing it. And I'm still successful at doing it. And I'm happy that I can be myself and not be influenced by this kind of nonsense, which is it's this machine now that they've created that you have to be positive and kiss butt, only say good things, rush through the game, be positive with it, get the next game for free early, get profit from that, wash, rinse, repeat. It's this endless cycle of garbage. It's not quality content. It's just paid advertisement nonstop. I don't want to be a part of that. It's a vicious cycle of nonsense, and people just
Right.
are so
He'd
used to it
rather
now.
just.
It's so commonplace to see the big streamer get the game early, get the
He doesn't want to actually, receive any positives or benefits from the companies that he claims are scamming everybody and only out for pure profits or whatever. Instead of taking money from them, he would much rather be himself, which just means begging off of the common man and taking from their pocket instead. That's more honorable if you ask DSP.
sponsorship, play the game. Haha, it's so good. What's the point?
Instead of just taking from the companies with your dignity intact and just holding true to the way that that you value yourself and your own ethics, DSP would rather just take from you and not be tempted. It's easier that way if he doesn't actually have to have any self-control.
Now, of course, the other half of that is if I do get a sponsorship, people get harassed anyway by my detractors. That is a factor. But in reality, I don't want to be a sponsored guy where all I'm doing is pushing, kissing butt, selling product, saying good, happy things. I don't. I want to be honest, So I took the different path. It's a challenging path, let me tell you. It is a challenging path.
Took the different path, challenging path.
It's a good one, in my opinion. It's a noble
I chose path 3.
Someone tipped $2 says that was the worst XQC impression I've ever seen. The fact that you're saying it's an XQC impression when I don't know XQC's content speaks volumes. Seriously. I wasn't trying to do an XQC impression. I don't know what kind of content he puts out. I've never watched him. Besides, I think the one clip that we reacted to him
Cats
on
on the
my reaction
keyboard.
show
My
2
bad,
years
my
ago,
bad.
I've never seen the guy in action. So the fact that you even made that association means that you don't understand what I'm saying. It's that simple.
I'm pretty sure he's reacted to something XQC before because I remember him talking about him enough that I put him in a thumbnail or titled it XQC something or other. I'm fairly certain that that exists, but I don't have the exacts.
Root Fox says, I see Raycon and HelloFresh ads on every YouTuber's video nowadays. The sponsor, everyone is trying to sell their products that are Factor. Yeah. You know.
Are people still taking Raycon
like,
sponsorships?
For example,
damn.
Those meal plans are awful. They're awful. Did you ever look into them? So they're going to sell you ingredients.
DSP's take on these meal plan like prep things, the Blue Aprons, the Hello Freshes or whatever, is he's so like ready to die on this hill. I want to say he's hard stuck, but I've already said both of those things too much today. He's just got such a hard stance on this for no reason. It's like the one area in which he thinks that he's more mature and smarter than everybody else. I want to say one area, but that's not true either. He thinks he's the smartest person on the fucking planet. Never mind.
So you can make your own meal.
It's just crazy.
Right,
he's
great.
so
But
adamant about this.
If you put 5 minutes of effort in, you can find recipes just like the ones that the meal plans are selling you. You can buy exactly the same ingredients at your local grocery store for cheaper, and you can just make the meals yourself. You literally pay like double for those meal plans. It's a complete waste of money. They don't serve any purpose except if you're incredibly fucking lazy and you can't do 5 to 10 minutes of work to research a meal. Then maybe I guess the meal plan, you think there's value there. But I mean, you want to talk about the laziness of society. I can't even be bothered to figure out how to make a meal for myself and my family. That's too hard. I'm going to pay someone else to do it.
Well, I mean, look, people that do that typically aren't doing it for their family. It's a single individual, typically, or a couple, and you completely cut out having to go to the store or doing the research of the recipes or buying the quantity of the ingredients so that you don't have leftovers after the meal, or you're inclined to make something with them, or you're being wasteful. You basically eliminate all of that, and you pay more than you would at the store, but you're paying for the convenience and the premium of not having to do any of that or figure any of that out. Now, I'm not saying it's the best idea or deal for your fucking money. I'm not saying this is some sort of value, but there is a type of individual out there that does not want to go to the store, does not want to figure out how much of anything they need, and does not want to look up recipes and then put together an actual list in order to go get those things. Yes, it's kind of like DoorDash, exactly. I'm not saying it's the best value. There is a reason to do it. If you can justify it to yourself, that's on you. But to act as though it's some sort of insane thing that everybody should understand, like it's completely useless and nobody should use, that's a completely different thing.
Wow.
Oh yeah, and portion control, Sam, man, that's another aspect. If you're incapable of doing your own portion control, you aren't the one that's going to be able to do that for yourself because you don't have that impulse control. They do it for you. Your only option is then to make something else. In which case, that's probably a big inconvenience and you won't do it,
Again,
ideally.
My wife and I are eating very healthy right now. Almost everything we eat is incredibly healthy. And it doesn't take tons of extra effort to do. It takes a little bit of research. What's the healthy alternative to the really bad thing that most people eat? And then you just make the meal with that. And you end up being healthy, losing weight. You know what I mean? Like, it's such a cool alternative to, say, a meal plan where I pay someone exorbitant amounts of money just to make one meal, you know? And, oh, it's easy to do. Yeah, so's everything else. It's not actually that hard. It's not rocket science, you know?
It's not about easy, though. It's about time and like convenience. That's where we're paying the premium. It's not about difficulty. Maybe that's where he's stuck at, you know?
So, by the way, for the record, decent attendance. We got 250 people on YouTube. I was hoping for 300 before we started with Resident Evil, but probably we'll get more jumping on when I start the game. Today, please support the stream. Let's get some likes on the YouTube side.
Money.
Get that engagement going. Please get some support going. Yesterday, for some bizarre reason, Resident Evil floundered when it came to support. We were sitting on $60 of support until the last, 20 minutes. And then a bunch of people supported last minute, and we got over 100. But, I mean, the playthrough was doing outstanding. Outstanding. Until yesterday, and now all of a sudden, it's falling. And it's falling, tripping on its own shoelaces, and falling on its face. All right? That's stupid. The game hasn't changed, all right? I'm playing through it. I'm giving you my honest opinion. Please support the stream today. Let's go.
The idea that it's stupid, that you're not receiving the amount of attendance or money that you think that you deserve. Even though the game, so if the game doesn't change, if you're playing the same game, according to DSP, you are entitled to make the same amount of viewers and money every single stream as long as it goes on, as long as the game is the same. and you're the same person playing it. That's genuinely his mindset. That's his expectation for every stream. What the fuck? I just don't understand how you can come to that conclusion realistically. It's just not, it's not reality. But he doesn't live there. He lives like in the King Dream song. He's living in the reality where he's having a resurgence and he's popular now.
Well, how are we even doing? I didn't even look yet. Okay. We haven't gotten any memberships yet. We haven't gotten any kicks yet. We did get 1 sub from Eek, so thank you to Eek for the 1 sub. But let's go. Let's get rallied and let's get some kicks. Let's get some memberships. Let's get some subs. Let's get that momentum going for Resident Evil again.
Okay, so there was our cope and seethe about everybody else who's totally rushing in Resident Evil, and nobody is playing games correctly except for DSP. That's why he's so prominent. That was that segment. I hope you all enjoyed it. We have one more. This is the Mr. Protein segment. This is where we brag about how healthy we are and about how we only eat protein-infused everything now. Even though I'm pretty sure that when we started this arc, DSP explicitly said that he was not going to eat protein-infused shit. He wasn't going to start doing protein powder and doing all that fucking extra bullshit just to get big or whatever. He wasn't going to do any of that. He was just going to eat and work out, and that was going to be that. But now we're eating protein-infused everything. Here's this.
I just got a $1 tip. Now that you're working out, do you find yourself gravitating more towards protein-based foods? What are some of your favorite snacks, and what about what's happened with veggies and fruits? Yes, like I crave protein now. Like no exaggeration.
Crave protein.
Right now,
I can't just want it. I can't just,
a donut in front of me right here, and you were to put down, a grilled chicken breast right here, I would eat the grilled chicken breast. I don't crave sweets anymore.
He acts as though that's some sort of flex, that he just picking the meat over the dessert is like no one else would do this. Only healthy-minded, fucking people would do this. Whatever. Thank you, Wild Tiger, for the 5. Saying, dude, I'm never taking advice from Mr. Snack Pizza, and the same guy who DoorDashes everything on top of making hot dogs and rice, basically. Fudge. I agree. I wouldn't take any health advice from the guy, or financial advice, or business advice, or relationship advice, or any of it at all, actually. Any advice whatsoever.
Like ever. If I eat them, it's such a rarity, okay? And now my body wants more protein than anything else. Like, for example, okay, here's another example. If you were to put a plate of fried rice right here,
okay,
versus a plate of seasoned ground turkey, I would eat the ground turkey.
Oh my God, I'm sorry.
I have no desire for the grains anymore, or the bread, God, I'm having a brain fart right here. You know what I'm saying? I can't, the starch. There you go. I have no desire for like the starches, the carbs. I don't want that anymore. I just want the protein. Like that's really what my body is craving.
Protein
all
only.
The time.
I only want meat, animal meat, fake meat, real meat, infused meat, man meat. It doesn't matter, dude.
As I said, I started to eat healthier protein snacks. Like we have these very light chips that are protein infused that we eat of different flavors.
Oh,
They're
fuck
not
yeah,
fried.
dude. Protein infused chips. I mean, you can't say that I'm not healthy. I'm eating the protein infused chips. Those are very clearly the hallmark of a good diet.
So it's like no grease, no fat, or very little. And
no
so if
grease,
you
no
eat
fat
a whole
on
little
these
bag of
chips.
them for like 130 calories.
You can eat the whole little bag of them.
It's like 19 grams of protein and like nothing else, almost like no carbs or nothing. It's like, wow.
This is how
So
you
I
know
like
he's
it.
marketing
And-
brained. Yeah, bro, protein infused is DSP's like new marketing scam that he fell for. If it says protein on it, DSP is going to pay up the ass for it because he thinks that it's actively making him healthier. Yeah, favorite protein is BBC flavored. I believe that about you, Inked.
That's what I eat
believe
now
that.
for snacks. I used to eat way unhealthy things. I would eat a big sandwich, ciabatta bread, a bunch of lunch meat, cheese and sauce with a side of chips. And that was what I would eat as like a night snack.
That sounds
Like
fucking
what the hell?
heat.
It's probably like 800
See, let's
calories,
check the
all
Subway
fat shit.
deals.
Now my night snack is like a bag of these chips or a protein snack bar. That's like
Protein
200
snack
calories,
bar?
but it's a ton of protein. That's my snack.
What happened to the snack pizza? Or we'll move to these stupid fucking fruity ass protein infused chips, and the snack pizza went out the window. Fake.
Now. So my body only really craves the protein stuff. That's it. Yes. Do I like chocolate? Yes, I do. Do I like sweets? Every once in a while. Do I crave greasy stuff? Sometimes. But like, for example, let's say I was going to order a breakfast right now. I don't want the fatty meats. I still want meat. But let's say if they have an option to get turkey bacon instead of the pork bacon, I would want the turkey bacon. You see, if I'm going to get an omelet,
Wait, why?
I don't get the omelet that's full of cheese and ham. I'm like, I'll get an omelet with some tomato, some peppers, some onions. You already got your protein in the eggs. You don't need it. And cheese. Actually, that is something that's happening.
There's not enough. If you're actually interested in eating protein and you're using it as some sort of device to help you be healthier and get bigger, I don't think that having a little bit of egg is necessarily as enough protein. But sure,
Happening right now is I am gravitating away from cheese a lot.
Chicken on there.
Like, I just don't really like cheese that much anymore. And this is coming from a guy who's Italian and used to eat cheese on everything.
Oh, fuck, guys. Did you know he's Italian? Has he ever mentioned that before? This is new information to me. He's Italian. Therefore, he has to enjoy cheese and put it on everything. It's a requirement for all Italians. That's just the way that it has to be. 12% Italian bullshit. Look at how... Never mind. I was going to be mean to Italians. Look how greasy and Silvano he is. Look at this. This is purebred Italian, baby.
To stay away.
I'm sorry to all the Italians out there.
Because cheese is high carbs, high fat. Doesn't really do much for your body. Once you get to a certain age, you don't need a ton of calcium, So that's why I'm actually trying to stay away from the cheese as much as I can. And to be honest, I don't crave the cheese as much either. Once you start to stay away from these things, okay, you don't crave them anymore. It's only if you have them in your regular diet, your body is used to them and kind of craves them that you'll want to eat it. But once you phase it out and it's not a common thing around you anymore, you don't want it anymore. And that's a good thing,
And that's a good thing.
All right, guys. So within a few minutes here, we are going to begin with Resident Evil.
Who would have thought that if you just deprive yourself of a bunch of shit, that eventually you will just stop caring about it and you'll forget about it? Who would have thought? Weird.
Sadly, I hate to say it, but it looks like attendance is falling off again. As you can see, we didn't even get up to 300 viewers today. I was hoping to get to 300 and then we would start. And we didn't even get that high on YouTube. So this is what happened.
But the playthrough is going super well, and we didn't lose any viewers whatsoever, you guys. We're still Mr. Positivity, and we're only being successful.
Happens when you play a game nonstop. You're not going to get as much viewership on day 4 as you did on day 1, 2, and 3. It happens. It's fine. But I do hope that you guys will stick around. And please, by all means, let's go. Let's keep the engagement going. So if you're here live on stream right now and you're ready for Resident Evil and you had a good time with the morning show, please hit the like button on the stream. And let's get some support for Resident Evil Requiem. Let's get some subs. Let's get some kicks. Let's get some super chats. Let's get some memberships. And for goodness sakes, let's get some tips. Let's get it rolling so we have good momentum heading into the game today. Thank you to Higa Nipa.
It's so funny when the way that these get cut up, because he does, and I know it's this way raw too, but he does the segment and then immediately just like dead air. It's just a complete vibe shift as he's like waiting and reading the chat. Completely juxtaposition every time he does one of these bag segments. Let's get the fucking, I was gonna say motivation. What did he just say? The momentum. Let's get the momentum rolling, and then all of a sudden it's just fucking nothing going on. Shout out Redbird for the 2, saying I stopped craving cigs after I stopped smoking. LOL. Yeah, it's weird how that works, eh? If you just don't do something for a long time, you just don't think about it. Odd.
Who just did 100 kicks on Kick? That's our first kicks of the day. Oh, I should bring this up. So, guys, today's Tuesday, and you know what that means.
You know what that means.
It's the last day as a viewer on Kick to support my content and have it count for this week, because they cut it off. For some reason, they cut it off at the end of Tuesday, and then I get paid later in the week for the progress up to that. It's been a slow week on Kick. I'm not going to mince words here. I don't know what happened this week. If you even take a look right now look at how many gifted subs we got this week.
Look at them.
15.
Damn.
Since Sunday.
Only 15, guys. What the fuck? We got to get those numbers up. Only since Sunday. You know the end of the week is on Tuesday, and yet here we are with 15 subs. That's un-fucking acceptable. Come on.
That's it.
Kick chat,
That's
please.
Really bad.
You're letting us
that's
down.
Incredibly slow for gifted
so
sub.
Slow.
Okay?
I agree.
Kicks, also nearly dead this week. Okay? So I don't know what's going on. That for some odd reason, there's like no Kick contributions this week. But that's the case. It would be great if you guys could support the streams today. If you're watching on Kick, there's 100 of you there right now. So anything appreciated. a few kicks, some subs, you know. Again, I stream there for a reason. And usually, there's a good amount of support. And for whatever reason, this week, it's not. So today would be the day. If you want, like Resident Evil, if you've enjoyed this playthrough since Friday, please support it. Because here's the thing. My streams are doing well, but it's not the kick side of stuff. Like, YouTube side is doing great. Tips are great. Views and engagement are great. Kick has done horrible this week. So I don't know what's up with you guys. You guys are here. You're enjoying.
You know, at what point do we stop mentioning this? How many different playthroughs do we have to go through where the kick side does not pull their weight, they don't support, and we just stop doing this, and we just accept that kick is going to pay whatever kick pays? There has to be some point, right, where we just accept that kick is the way that they are.
The streams every day. Let's go.
I feel like we do this way too often.
Let's get some subs.
Doesn't kick always do horribly? Yes, that's what I'm fucking saying. If I feel like every single playthrough that lasts, longer than a play session, we wind up going, guys, kick is just not coming through this week. I don't know what's going on. It's been incredibly slow over there. And it's like every single playthrough.
Get some kicks immediately, this very moment, without delay and without excuse. Let's go. Come on.
Come on.
Marky says, to be honest, I unsub for some gaming channels because they go only after what's trending or turning into hate and stupid stuff. See, and I'm not about that at all, man. I'm not. I don't want to be about that. I want to have chilled gaming vibes. I want people to come here for consistency. You know what I mean? Every once in a while, yeah. If it's something that's political and it affects me or I feel like I want to speak out on it, I will. I'm not going to say, oh, I refuse to talk about a certain topic in my content. But at the same time, that's not the focus of my content, nor do I want it to be. I've been very successful as a gamer on the internet for 18 years, and I know that I can keep that going. There's no reason to go into this kind of other content. Now, here's the thing. I could. Maybe one day, as I get older, and I'm playing less games or games more, it's less pertinent to see me play games all the time because I'm getting older.
It has never been less pertinent to watch DSP than right now, if you ask me. Like, just as DSP continues to get older and older and he sucks more and more, it's always been less important to watch DSP every passing day. That's just how I feel about it. But apparently there will be a day when it'll be so unimportant that we decide to talk about random shit going on in real life, kind of like DS politics, but totally different and a rebrand because that didn't work and was a disastrous failure.
Maybe we would have more of these kind of discussions. Maybe I would do once a week, kind of like Jamie Oliver has the show Last Week Tonight or whatever. So maybe I would do like one major show a week where I just say, okay, here's the current events this week that interested me. I want to talk about them and do discussion with you about them, and here's a little political commentary. Maybe I would do a show like that.
Also, totally boomer brain to decide that one day you might just start doing a late night show style. Like, that's your inspiration, is a late night show. Who the fuck is watching late night television other than old people? Who is getting inspiration from late night television as well? Absolutely boomer brained. You guys saying John Oliver? Who the fuck is John Oliver?
Once a week or something, right? But for now, I'm not interested.
Oh, that's that British fella,
no,
yeah?
Kick didn't support me at all. I've got no subs and no kicks.
Sorry, late night can go to hell. I'm not watching that bullshit.
It's weird because sometimes we'll have people on Kick who come by and they're very supportive, and then there'll be weeks where there's like, it's dead. I don't get it. It's of all weeks, you would have thought this week with Resident Evil that things would be happening, and it is on the YouTube side, but on the Kick side, no. So guys, as we begin today, all right? As we begin today, allow me to do a gratuitous plug and or shameless ask here, right? Time for the grift, as they say. If you're here live,
Act the King over late night TV. Look, dude, if you ask me genuinely if I would rather watch Raw Ask the Kings all night or watch fucking late night television, I'd definitely rather watch Ask the King. There's far more comedy in that than there is on television.
Please support the stream. This is the 4th day in a row I'm playing Resident Evil Requiem on stream, and that's because you guys have shown up, engaged, and supported the content, making it viable. Normally, I wouldn't play a game this often because I like variety, and variety works for my content. But I'm sticking with Resident Evil to get as far as we can this week, and I want to keep doing that. But in order to do that, I need attendance, engagement, and support. So please today, if you like this playthrough, support it in some way. Give the stream the like. Please support it with a super chat or a sub or a membership or some kicks. Like I said, particularly today, Kick support would be great because it's been one of the slowest weeks on Kick ever yet again. I don't.
Oh my God, no way. All right, we're done. We're done. I can't listen to the loop. We had to beg for the stream crowd. We have to beg for the video on demand crowd. I can't take this shit no more, man. I'm done with it. Anyway, that's been the week of the guy. We didn't watch any of the marathon because it sucked and was stupid. He did some flexing on the pre-stream. I thought that was pretty funny, but I wasn't going to go out of my way to clip it. I could not be bothered. You guys didn't want to see it anyway, I swear. So, with that being said, shout out, of course, and shout out to all of you for being here on this Saturday morning into afternoon style. I appreciate all of your time. Big ups. Thank you so much. And until I see you all next weekend, please stay safe and stay blessed. Goodbye.